Let's get sweaty.
And welcome to the Shenmue Dojo Show, Season 6, Episode 5. I am Skill Jim, and I'm joined by Mr. Shenmue. Shit, where's my passport, Oliver?
Wait.
Matt, you better get the passport ready for Gamescom.
God, yeah, that's creeping up, isn't it? How are you, man? All good?
I'm doing good, thanks. Yeah, nothing much changed from the previous podcast, I guess, apart from we've signed that contract that I was telling you about for the house. Other than that, we're just actually going to visit the house tomorrow and then maybe move in August sometime, potentially.
Excellent.
Just a lot of things to get sorted there. And I also want to get some vlogs done because I've been slacking on the vlogs. So hopefully, maybe over the next couple of days, I might be able to crank out a vlog or something.
Excellent.
My Japan travels. Actually, that was when Paddy and Peter came over, so I still need to edit those.
I'll be interested
vlogs.
to see them.
Yeah, we did some good stuff, man. We went back to Yokosuka and went to an island called Sarushima Island.
Okay.
You can actually see it in the distance, from the harbour. It's like the island that you can see in the distance from one angle. So we visited there and it was pretty cool. It rained quite heavy on that day.
Some of the photos, it looked like it was peeing it down.
It was, but then it brightened up. It was really nice in the afternoon. And then other than that, I don't really think I've got much more else to talk about. I've been playing a little bit of Yakuza 7 again, just because I never got around to completing that. And actually starting to get into the combat. Like, I wasn't a massive fan of the turn-based stuff. I guess same with you, right, Matt? But
yeah,
I am starting to get used to it now. I think I'm kind of like leveled over than the current chapter. So I'm like not really having many problems with the fights, and as more characters are getting more moves, it is becoming a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I think I'm probably on about chapter 6.
If there is a difficulty
20, is there?
Spike in it somewhere, about halfway, 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, which I don't know what you meant to do in that situation. Like
grind.
Just grind enemies, because I feel like I'm doing that anyway.
So what I ended up doing, you have to bear with me because this is from memory. It's so long since I played that game, but there's basically a dungeon type thing where you're in an elevator shaft and you go up floors and fight enemies.
Okay.
I ground through that repeatedly, and that was the quickest way I found to get my XP up. And you attach XP attachments to the characters as well to boost the XP they're getting.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that actually.
Yeah.
Can I do that now, or is that just with that tower mode?
You can do it. I think you can do it now. I'm sure you can do it now.
Okay,
Again, I'll just double
items.
check that because I'm going from memory. It's been so long since I played it. Infinite Wealth got rid of that difficulty spike, and also it allows you to skip the fights. You only get half the experience, but you're not having to battle through stuff all the time, which I thought was quite a good addition. So it's funny because Shenmue 3 got battered for the grinding effort you needed,
which is
to
hardly
beat some of the
anything,
fights,
really, right?
Which compared to this, and it didn't get battered for it, I thought it was a little bit hypocritical. I mean, Shenmue 3's got its own issues, but I just found that very hypocritical. But it's a good game. I like 7. Infinite Wealth is definitely better though when you get to it.
Good to hear. And I'm looking forward to Man That Erased His Name, because that is the type of combat I prefer.
Yeah.
And I like that it's only 9 hours as well, so that interests me more than currently, but I am going to plow my way through. You said a word, by the way, ground. You ground your way, like a past tense of grind. Is that correct?
Possibly not. It's just the way I was thinking it.
I'd never heard of it before. I ground my way, but it could
grinded.
be. Maybe grinded? I'm not sure.
Possibly. I don't know.
I'm having to start thinking of these things now, being an English teacher, so I just thought I'd ask the question. But how about yourself, man? You've been doing anything, or?
So I finished James Bond on PlayStation 5. That was really good. I got better towards the end. It is like playing a Bond movie. I think if they get a second game, which I think they sold well enough and made the money back, but I'm pretty sure it will. I think that'll be a really good sequel. So I played that. I finished Dark Ties for Kiwami 3 as well, which was good. Played through one run of Star Fox, the remake of Lilac Wars, on Switch 2, which I had a good time with. I mean, it's only an hour-ish, but the idea is you do repeat runs, you do different paths and things like that. So I'm going to sit and do a few more of them.
So is that new Star Fox just a remake?
Yeah, remake of Lilac Wars 64. Brilliant game.
Didn't realise that. Okay.
Basically, it's the same game, just with very updated graphics, and it looks really good.
Okay, so I might grab that then. If it's only an hour long as well, that's perfect.
Yeah, you can and because it saves each level, you can play a level in about 5-10 minutes.
Nice. So it's like an arcade game.
Yeah. It's probably a good way to describe it. So you can batter out a level in a few minutes, and then you can go off on your merry way and do something else. So that's good. Video content for the channel.
You've been battering the Virtua Fighter stuff, man.
The VF stuff's been a lot of work. Obviously, they will come on to the new trailer in a bit, but doing the manuals lore thing, which I think has opened a can of worms now, because certain guidebooks that I haven't been able to get access to potentially have lore in it, especially for Virtua Fighter 1. That wasn't in the manuals, and I know Stu's gone down a bit of a rabbit hole with some of those, which is great because it means if we come out of that rabbit hole, then I can do a video on those guidebooks hopefully as well. Done the releases timeline video. Jesus Christ, what a lot of that was hell trying to edit that and get that down and sorted. That's released. And then I've got a few more Shenmue content videos in, of course.
What Shenmue, man?
I don't know. We'd have Virtua Fighter Dojo, aren't we?
Yeah, it seems to be recently. Hopefully, people are still sticking with us, not getting sick of the Virtua Fighter content, or maybe the other way around. Maybe they're going to get sick of this Shenmue content that we're putting out.
I don't know. Maybe not. It's just what I've gone down the road of it because I'm a big Virtua Fighter fan.
Crossroad.
And
sorry.
And I think with all the Shenmue references kicking around, obviously Virtua Fighter RPG, Shenmue, Crossroads, it all comes together, doesn't it? So there's overlap, and I'd be mad not to cover some of it at least, and try and do this game as much of a service as I can. I'm having a good time doing it.
Oh, that's good, and I think that's a good segue into the news. So today we are going to be discussing the Shenmue Passport in great detail. I'm surprised actually we haven't covered this previously. It feels like something we should have done in the first 5 seasons of the show, but that's something that we're going to do today. I'm not looking forward to it. But news-wise, Matt, let's talk about the Shenmue comparisons that we're seeing in some of these released Crossroads trailers. There's been a new one, and it's getting a lot of heat because the character that's being teased looks an awful lot like a Mr. Landy.
Oh man, do you know what's really fun with this is there's obviously the hardcore Shenmue community are going to make those references, right? It's fine, but you go wider into gaming, and actually there's a lot of people going, that's Landy, he moves like Landy. And now there's obviously the derivatives from the Virtua Fighter RPG and Tiger Swallow style come from Koen Ken, which is Lao style, and everything else in between. But seeing that was just like, okay, there's a lot more Shenmue love here than I think maybe we've realised. And actually perhaps Sega, I don't know. What I think it's doing is giving Shenmue exposure through the back door a little bit, which is great, and it can only be a good thing for the series, and hopefully it gives Sega a bit of a kick up the backside to go, do you know what, maybe we are going to do something with this. There is the other argument, this might replace Shenmue long term in terms of the feel and what they're going for, although I would argue that Crossroads and the story mode has a very different vibe to a Shenmue game, even in a modern sense. But it is looking good. It's called Bakunawa Killer, and there's lots of theories going around online as to who it is. I mean, it won't be Landy, to be honest. It's probably Li Fei or Lei Fei. I can't quite remember how you pronounce the name. but yeah, it's looking really sick. I'm really, really impressed with it. And of course, I did a little breakdown video on it and did the comparisons because obviously the double palm move that you use to take Pi down.
Right.
I appreciate that's in Virtua Fighter 1, but that's the killer move that Landy uses. But what really got me was the kick over the arm, which was that Shenmue 3. That was done in Shenmue 3 first, ages ago. And they've got that in here. So I did sit there and go, I know you said you haven't deliberately looked at Shenmue, but it does beg the question whether they have or not. And the I can't remember, Yamada, who is the lead on Virtua Fighter Crossroads, posted a tweet going, "Who is this guy with the killer on screen?" And it's just reams, Landy, 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 and you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you go through the social. You go through the YouTube. Landy, Landy, Shenmue, Landy, Landy, Landy. Get Rio in the game. We want Shenmue DLC. And this is outside of the community. This is outside of the hardcore community that we obviously cater to. So, from my point of view, this is a golden opportunity for Shenmue to expose itself and the IP to further people and perhaps grow and move things forward. So, it's a double thing here. Virtua Fighter is looking fantastic. Crossroads is looking amazing, and it's going to be like, I cannot wait for this game. I'm hoping it's playable at Gamescom in some way, because if I can get hold of that at Gamescom, I'll be a very happy man. And secondly, it's exposure for Shenmue and giving people exposure to that game in a less negative light without jumping down the whole meme thing. I haven't seen many people start going, oh, Shenmue's just a meme fest, where's the sailors? I haven't seen any of it really, and that's the difference. So come on, Sega, if anybody is Vegas listening to this, it's there that there's more of a market here than I think they give it credit for, and this is starting to show it for me.
And I think Virtua Fighter, the links that we spoke about last time, is more than enough to get some sort of Shenmue content in the game.
Oh,
they've got this character that looks like Landy. He's got his hands behind his back. He's got the ponytail. He's got the green robes on. It almost looks like the mirrored design on the robes too.
Yeah.
It's easy enough if it isn't Landy, or well, it probably won't be Landy, but just to get a Landy DLC skin attached to that character, because the moveset's there. It just needs to be the appearance. And then obviously Rio could replace Akira's skin or whatever Akira is going to look like. It seems very easy just to add a small little Shenmue nod DLC there with two characters instantly accessible.
I'd be all over it.
It just makes sense to me, but whether or not it makes sense to Sega, I'm not sure.
Wow. Yeah,
we'll find out. We'll find out when the game comes out.
Yeah.
Next up, Matt, there's been a slight update to the VR mod that we spoke about last time for Shenmue 3, kind of base edition, not the enhanced. Hopefully enhanced in the future, but currently the regular Shenmue 3 on the PC, you can now play in VR, and it's getting a new build soon.
Yes, it is. So 10-37 is working on this. I've done a video. It's due out in the next few weeks on the current build. It's out there already, but it's been sent, and I need to test it. It's been sending me new builds over the last few weeks. What he's been doing is working on the mini games to get them fully interactive in VR mode. So, for example, he's got Whack-A-Mole working, so you have the hammer in your VR hand. You can start whacking the stuff. So that's coming out really well. It's taken him a while. He was saying to me some of the it was having performance issues, so he had to strip it all back, work out where it's coming from, then optimize it to make it work properly. And he was saying on a 5090 it was getting 20 frames per second at one point. So you had to then optimize it through and then get it to work. But yeah, it's coming together really, really well. And as I say, I've got a video coming out in the next few weeks on the base model. It's open to members now, the video, and I've already had some quite fun comments from it. It's quite interesting trying to shoot that in my office, which is not very big, so I had to try and stay basically in one place and not punch either my screens or my stuff behind me, and I managed to succeed. So it's good. Or the dog. Luckily the dog was downstairs. Poor thing.
Good. Nice. That does sound a neat addition though. I could imagine QT title being quite fun, actually physically being able to play that as an arcade type of thing with your fists punching the the pads as they rise. That would be pretty cool. If that's not already been implemented, then that would be a cool addition.
That'd be so cool. It works, and I said this to him. I said it works so well in VR Shenmue 3. And I did say, would you consider doing something for enhanced? He said, well, yes, in theory. Obviously, you would have to wait for it to be released and whatever differences there are that might have to be catered to. But I'd love this as an official part of enhanced, like a proper, let's do this. Because all it's going to do is just be, if you want to enhance the game, I know the graphics and things are getting sorted and the quality of life stuff, but as a real cool new feature, especially for PC, I think it would make sense.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. And then PS5 could utilise the PSVR 2, maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it could. You have to rig it slightly differently, I would have thought, or at least get across it over to work. But again, the possibility is there, and then you've got an added, quite a big added feature, which I think would I know because we're not getting story features and things added to enhanced, that while it's not going to necessarily be like a massive, tidal wave change, it's still a big new feature, which I think some people will be very happy to see.
Definitely agree with that. And then talking about updates, patches, etc. We've got one all the way for little old Shenmue 2 Dreamcast version, right? Is it, or is it the 1 and 2 update?
So this is for 1 and 2.
Right.
It's not clear whether it will be applied to the Dreamcast version. I'm guessing it could, but I'd have to ask the people involved. So this is from YS Italia, and they are working on a Shenmue Italian language translation pack for Shenmue 2, which will give them accurate translation.
Is the one for Shenmue 1 then?
I think so, but don't quote me. I could be wrong. I'm guessing if they're doing Shenmue 2, there probably is. That's why
I was thinking in my head maybe they're doing the Dreamcast, but this is definitely the re-release.
Yes, without a doubt. And I stumbled across this. It's posted on Reddit, and I stumbled across it, and I was like, "Oh, hello, what's this?" And I had a quick look. I had a quick chat with them on Reddit, and just said, "Look, are you all right for me to chuck this on the main site?" So I have done. Cool. You can download it from GitHub at the moment. It's work in progress. I will say, just as a caveat right now, because it will come out, they are using AI translation systems to speed up the general process, but then manually changing the context and things to make sure it's right. So rather than translating everything by hand, line by line, what they're doing is getting a general context through AI and then changing it in terms of what's actually being said, because AI will obviously make mistakes on that. Was it Sega Gaga had that issue, and they've had to issue patches since correcting it. I know some people will go, it's AI, blah!
I'd rather live in a world without this update than 98% correct.
And I get it. There's a whole wider AI argument that I think we're not going to go down here. But I've always said, if you're using AI as a tool to then speed up your productivity, and you're still having to have that human element to it anyway, I think it's okay. It's when it's replacing actors, artists, that's when I think rightly people have a problem. And
I think this is a perfect use here, because you've got, obviously they're Italian, so they know the language. It just saves mountains of hours for like a fan update that wouldn't have happened without the tool, the ability. So it's happening because of the AI, and then they can go back and just make the odd little correction that needs to be corrected. Job done. Nice.
There has to, so as I say, it's being used as a tool, but I wanted to just publicly flag that, because it's written down that, in fairness to them, they've not hid it in any way. They've been quite open and said it. So, but again, it's written all on our page on the Reddit topics, which is linked there, and also in the GitHub if you want to download it. But great to see, and hopefully get more translation packs for Shenmue 1 and 2.
Yeah, and hopefully no one's boycotting us now for mentioning this, but
hopefully not.
Hopefully not. And then finally, Matt, last little piece of news here. We wanted to give a quick little update, because this is probably the last chance after hearing the show, if you're hearing the show on release, that you'll have to fill in the surveys for both the Figgies Wave 3 poll that we have and the Shenmue 4 crowdfunding survey that Matt set up. Anything you want to mention on this, Matt, or just get across there?
Just to say, get across. The links are in the description. Just get across there and fill those in. The Wave 3 poll for the Figgies won't take you very long. You just need to select 4 of your characters. I think we will know who they are very soon anyway. But it's
Can't
the
believe
top
Goro's
three.
winning.
Yeah,
Joking.
yeah, there you go. No, actually, I can't remember who's winning. Might be Goro, but the top three are pretty secure. But there's about the fourth one and about 3 or 4 other characters are easily movable. So that could, a few votes here or there could change that quite quickly.
Okay.
And then we'll share that with the guys at First for Figgies, and hopefully we'll be getting a wave 3. Wave 2 is not even out yet, but
it's good. It's good that they're thinking ahead, planning ahead.
Yeah.
So yeah, check those out, guys. And then finally, we do have a small Ko-fi update. So we've got 3 of the Eric print packs remaining. So not too many of those left. And also 20 pins left. So if you haven't got a pin, maybe you could combine them and have like one big order. If you want to. Up to you. Anyway, I think we're going to move into the actual main discussion topic now. We're going to have a quick music break. We're going to be playing some Passport music today, guys. So hopefully you enjoy this piece. And this is the iconic network menu music. Okay, welcome back. That was the network menu music from the Passport disc. So first, we're going to talk about what actually is the Shenmue Passport. Maybe you are a new Shenmue player, and maybe you picked it up in 2018 for Steam, PS4, etc., Shenmue 1 and 2, and you've never heard of the Passport disc. So this was something that was originally with Shenmue 1 on the Sega Dreamcast, and it was actually the 4th disc in the box. So this was a time where you actually got a physical disc, Matt, but not only one.
Given at the moment.
4 discs.
I know.
Which is unheard of, right?
Yeah, it is now.
It is, especially since this 4th one probably didn't even need to exist in theory. So it's like extra content and an extra disc inside your box. So what is Shenmue Passport? So Shenmue Passport was the 4th disc in the set of discs for the first game. It's a bonus disc that contains additional content related to the game, such as music, cutscene clips that are intended to enhance the player's experience. You are prompted to select one of your save game files at the start, and then this is what is used to govern the information that is displayed on certain screens. So we've got the main menu here. So I'm actually reading this from a Phantom Riverstone article, but we will be showing a couple of screens on the screen. If you're watching the video version of the podcast, we've got the press start button shot there, which then leads into this area here where you can select one of 4 options, potentially 5. We're going to talk about that 5th option in a moment. But yeah, essentially these the the theatre area, the music area, the information area, and the ability to go with the online features that are included as well. And like I've just mentioned there, your save file determines what kind of content that you actually get, which is quite cool. So as you play through the game, you unlock cutscenes, you unlock music. Maybe the first time you listen to a piece of music, it gets added to the music player. The cutscenes get unlocked. And obviously when we get to the online section, a lot of that content is dependent on what you've done in your playthrough of Shenmue, which is a pretty cool feature, I think. So information, there's 7 Shenmue animated character heads that introduce various features of the game, such as QTEs, money, battles, and so on. Theatre, where you can view promo clips or select from the cutscenes that you've triggered during the game. Music, you can listen to the Shenmue theme or other songs that you've encountered in the game. And then the passport button at the bottom there, which is the online section. So, Matt, thinking all the way back to 2000 or whenever you first got Shenmue and you put this 4th disc into your Dreamcast, any kind of initial impressions that you can remember?
Yeah, I didn't spend huge amounts of time with it back in the day. It was only later, actually, when we're going to talk about Switch's hack for it, which obviously sort of brought it back online. And I know that recently some Dreamcast enthusiasts have made a server that you can restore all the online features, such as the leaderboards and everything for the passport as well, which is mental given that we're in 2026. But I remember looking back at it, and you get your game, you get your 4th disc. I chucked it in one day and I was like, what's this? Hooked it all up. And it was on a complete save file. I think it's probably my first ever save file that I had for Shenmue. And he opened it up and I was like, okay, so I started sort of milling through it. And I went to the theatre thinking, well, yeah, it must be cutscenes. It's all deduced from there. Obviously, you got some of the like trailers that were with Shenmue back in the day that were shown as part of the promotional material. Mm-hmm. But you obviously got the cutscenes. And I remember flicking through it and I had every cutscene bar one, and you do not know how pissed I was because I didn't know what I'd missed. I was like, what the heck is this?
I can tell you what you probably did miss, because I was exactly the same. I had one question mark, and I later found out it was like the Christmas cutscene with Nozomi where you miss Christmas.
That was the same one. Yeah.
Or maybe... I'm sure it's a Nozomi cutscene where she's crying on the bench or something like that. Anyway, I missed that too.
And I was like, "What? Yeah, come on! Like this is ridiculous." But I had everything else, and I was really smug in my head, thinking, because I took my time on that first playthrough, as we all did. I was really smug, thinking, I've got to have seen everything here. And there's one I'm going, okay, that's the sort of game it is. It reminds me a little bit. Maybe I'm clutching at straws here, but almost of a trophy system, like this passport thing.
Right, yeah, it's a good idea.
You're unlocking things as you go through the game. You need certain, you have to do certain things to open up certain sections of it. You get rewarded for that as well. So I can see it as an early trophy concept, albeit I'm probably clutching straws somewhat. But yeah, it was a nice addition, and it was only years later I really sort of dug into it, and obviously Suka Pass, which I'm sure we'll talk about anyway, that I dug into some more of it. But what about yourself? As we talked about the missing movies that we both had.
Yeah, well, I think that was a good way to kind of pull you back into the game again, actually. So I can't remember exactly when I first tried the disc out, because maybe the first playthrough you don't even realize that the 4th disc isn't a game disc, if you know what I mean. Like you move from disc 1 to disc 2, disc 2 to disc 3, and then the game concludes, and then maybe some people thought, oh, there's a 4th disc, what's this for? And then they potentially found out at that point. Or I'm sure I would have read through the manual, so I probably would have realized that this is a disc that you can put in at any time and view content as you're playing through the game. And obviously the online section, if you were to not know about this disc until after you finish the game, this disc actually has helpful information to help you through your playthrough of the game. So yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it later, but there's an online manual that you can read through as well. So not only the booklet that came with the game, there's an even more in-depth manual only in the online portion. There's clues that Nozomi gives you during your progress if you're stuck at any point. So you kind of do need to know that this is a disc that you can utilize for your playthrough. Whether or not I did, I'm not sure, but I do remember seeing a lot of these question marks and then wondering like, oh, how do I get that? Maybe getting a hidden cutscene and then going back onto the passport disc and seeing, okay, that was that scene. I still need one more. Or going into the music section, same thing with the music. I'm like, why is the 2 question marks music at the end of this list, even though I've finished the game? Like, what? How do I listen to music? Where do these songs play to unlock? So there was a lot of good content like that just in the offline portion that allowed me to then go back, play through the game again, and hopefully try and unlock everything, and then that would be the perfect save file, as it were. Yeah. Did you ever try the online back in the day, Matt?
I probably did, although I don't recall too much of it must be said. The stuff obviously was good fun, wasn't it? And trying to top some of those scores on there, which was ridiculous. But one thing I did like with it was the data review stuff. That told you how much you played in game, how long you played.
Yeah.
Which again, it's quite a common theme now. Like if you look at PlayStation and the front screen, the home screen of the console, it will tell you played X amount of hours in this game, you completed this amount of the story. This is a very early take on something like that. And again, it was quite refreshing. The online stuff, I dabbled. I didn't go into it in great detail, but it was certainly something I had a very quick look at, and just looking at the screenshot of the World Network ranking we've got here now, like all the games that you could be ranked on, all the arcade titles, Slot Machine, the free battle. It was all like encouraging you to get back into the game, wasn't it? And going through all the various all the mini games to try and get that top score.
Yeah, and a lot of those features that you mentioned, Matt, like I do remember looking at back in the day, like the data review. I always thought it was pretty cool seeing all these different stats, and there's some crazy stats that are being recorded at all times that I'm going to talk about a little bit later when we get into the online section discussion. But just thinking back to like my own first impressions, I definitely remember it taking a long time to load. So every screen that you went on, you could probably be waiting like up towards of like a minute before something displayed. So it kind of made the experience not that fun, but it was such a cool feature in general that I still like. I appreciate the content that they were able to produce for this, because there's a lot of things going on, collecting the winning cans. Some people might not realize what the use of the winning cans was designed for, so we'll talk about that a bit later. And then, like you said, the rankings there and almost encouraging you to try and go for a high score. And I remember seeing the scores and being like, God, how are these people completing the game in 11 hours or something? I timed myself and it was like 13. I was like, what are they doing? And probably they knew the stair glitch, maybe, I don't know. And I suppose that could have been a way to get number one back in the day if you figured that stair glitch thing out that Peter did that in that stream that time, and then ran through the road, and I ended up on disc 2, I think, really like within the first 20 minutes of the game or something you can do. So there's things like that in there, and some of the Space Harrier and Hang On, and I was like looking at the scores and thinking like, how on earth have these people achieved these scores? So I never really ended up on the rankings list, I don't think, anyway.
No, I definitely didn't.
So let's delve into these sections in a little bit more detail then, Matt. So we're going to look at the information section first. So we were deciding on a character to show whilst we talk about this section, and I think we went with Shuing, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 characters on this menu that you can select from. You've got Ryo, Nozomi, Shenmue, Oishi from the antique store, you've got Mark, you've got Chai, and randomly you've got Shuing, and they've all got different pieces of information. It's almost like a tutorial, I guess, to the game.
Yeah.
Again, probably something I didn't realise and watch until after I'd properly got into the game, so it might have been more helpful if these were presented to you before you started the game, like maybe if these were on disc 1, for example, as like a, maybe it's advised to watch these first. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it should have been, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously this is where you get the insane renders of the character models, which are like so superior to the in-game ones. It's like on another level, and I think that these are the kind of graphics that maybe fooled a few people in the magazine screenshots that thought they were going to get like exceptional graphics, even though obviously Shenmue is still insane for the time graphically, but these were like off the scales, right? The detail, the fact that you could pan the camera around, you could move the light in. So there's, you know, a really, really cool. Can you remember how you felt watching some of these back in the day, man?
Yeah, my mind was blown looking at these. I mean, you look at Xiuing, I mean, ironically, he wasn't in Shenmue 1, and obviously I think that's a reminiscent issue of the games being split. But you look at her model just as a point, you see the shine in her eyes, the reflection of the lighting in her eyes. Yeah. It looks like there's memes online of like game graphics now and people using these passport models. So yeah, the Dreamcast was doing this back in 99, people. Now, it's probably a little bit disingenuous because the Dreamcast is only rendering that model at that point in time. There's not a lot else going on in terms of the game itself, but it still looked incredible. Even now, you look at those models.
Well, you've got Xiuing's room around her, right?
Yeah, but it's static. It's not doing anything. There's no NPCs walking around. It's not doing the weather effects. It's not dealing with a whole host of very sort of, I guess, CPU intensive tasks that in the game that you would obviously be doing normally. So in order to balance that, you have to back things off. So in the game, they had to reduce the quality of them. They weren't bad models in the game at all, but you have to reduce the quality to get everything to work at a particular frame rate that can just be stable. But this was like ridiculous.
This is on another level. You can see the blemishes on the faces and everything.
Yeah, you can see like skin tone, the blemishes of the skin. It's the textures of the lips, the eyes, like the hair. The hair looks fantastic. But obviously, I think some people took it as gospel. Shenmue would look like that. I think with hindsight, it couldn't. There's no way the Dreamcast could run those models in the game with everything else going on. But my mind was blown, absolutely blown by how good this looked.
I forgot that actually in the reflection of the eyeballs is that dev, right, holding the Donald Duck.
Yeah, which I just brilliant, isn't it? It's funny.
Yeah, it is funny, but you can kind of see it slightly when it's zoomed in on there.
If you look for it now, you can sort of go, oh, okay. Then.
There's the Donald Duck in her eyes. But like I say, the skin blemishes, the mouth movement, the facial, it's like tiny facial movements, the hair swaying, and, you know, almost every single hair is separate, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess at the time I was thinking, like, who's this character? Why, Xiuing? Or we don't know anything about this character. Why is she in this telling me about items, she says. Let's talk about items. So, yeah.
Very insane.
So insane to see these models, and if this was your first kind of taste of Shenmue, you were in for a treat, like, you know, back in the 1999, just on another level. So that was the information section, and then next we got the theatre section. So like we mentioned, this would be where you unlock some of the cutscenes that you gain throughout the game, but also there was 5 kind of unique videos exclusive to this disc that are kind of unlocked from the start to get you going. So we got a promotional movie trailer, which actually surprised me seeing that now, because I thought the movie was kind of designed again just before Shenmue 2 was released in like Japanese theaters. In my head I was thinking like 2000, 2001, but maybe they were working on it
possibly
back then.
Does make sense.
Does make sense. So there's a trailer for that. There's a Magic Weather and Time Control video, and then there's kind of 2 trailers for the game, a preview one and a forklift driving video. But we are going to actually watch one of these. We're going to watch the second video, which is called What's Yokosuka, because it's definitely got some beta footage in here, right, Matt?
Yeah, without a doubt.
So let's pop this on. It's just over 2 minutes long, so I'll give us a countdown of 3, 2, 1. So right off the bat, I mentioned the sky, right, Matt?
Yeah, that's not the sky that's in game. It looks good though.
It does look amazing. So produced and directed by Yu Suzuki, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's as close to the final product possibly.
Yeah. Look at the top right. They've blurred out the frame rate or something there from beta.
Yeah, true. And the guys on the gantry crane there, I don't think are actually in the game. We're seeing some weather. Maybe some slightly old textures of the houses as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so. And then you've got the character models there of Rio.
So these are the passport ones.
Yeah.
That's some combat. Shoeing.
Chai.
It's almost like Yan Tin Apartments then, but probably wasn't. And then this might be the first time I heard this music. So this was the crazy cherry blossom trees.
Oh man, yeah, I remember seeing this and be like blown away.
So we've got obviously the one that's in Rio's back garden, but that other scene was always interesting.
It was.
Is that like cut content that they made or something, like a cherry blossom park, or?
Might have been for promotional stuff, wasn't it? Landy.
This music, I'm not sure. You recognise this music?
No, not offhand.
Yamaguchi-san? So slightly different arcade setup there, I think. It was like an extra machine. There you go, Shenmue.
Banging. Like, I'll give that some credit, actually, because it's been a long time since I've watched that. For years. That sells the game quite well, I think. I mean, I know it's got more action in it than obviously Shenmue ended up having, which might have been part of some people's issues, but judging by modern trailers, if they released like a Shenmue game now and that was the trailer, I'd be like, okay, this looks all right. I'll be up for this, you know?
Yeah, and I also, it's surprising how well made a lot of trailers were back then.
Yeah, very.
You know, when you think of maybe some of the Shenmue 3 ones that had a little bit of criticism, just a random trailer designed for the Passport disc. I don't know if that was played anywhere else. I mean, maybe it was from E3, you know, one of those events on loop potentially. So they just popped it on this disc, but very, very well made trailer for the time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the theatre section. And I guess the kind of final section of content on the offline mode would be the music. So this is where you unlock pieces of music. There's 32 in total. I'm not quite sure who chose these 32 tracks or why as such. Obviously, there's only a couple of orchestral pieces, so it's not like it's the greatest music from the game. It's just a collection of various pieces. So we've got Shenmue's original theme, Shahua's, I guess Shenhua, but Shahua, like when she was a first name, original name, orchestral with vocals, and then orchestral with Chinese fiddles, like a variation. Then we got the song Loneliness, Harbour Light, Visitor at Night, To the Sky, The Spot, which I am going to play later because this was the first place that I actually heard this piece of music. I don't think this actually plays in the game. I think it plays in Shenmue 2 in the arcade, or like a variation on. But we'll play that at the very end of the show, guys, so look forward to that. We've got Beyond the Memory, Yamaji, Lapis, Bob's Pizzeria, the Abbey Store, Slothouse, Tomato Convenience Store, Louis Barber and Hair Salon, Asia Travel Company, Harbour Lounge, Light, Earth and Sea, Yokosuka Blues, Sadness, Hope, Sunny Places, Mysterious Letter, Morning Dew, Working Man, I Wish, which I don't think is Wish, I think it's a different piece of music, Why, question mark, which I can't quite remember what that one is. Let me just double check that one. Okay, so this is the Kitten Megumi piece. I feel like that might be called Rain as well, I'm not sure. Antiquity, Jingle Bells, Silent Night, Holy Night, and Shahua Christmas, which maybe these three are question marks until you hit the Christmas part of the game. So if you complete the game early, this could be why they're question marks. I can't quite remember.
Does sound about right, doesn't it? God, we're doing a lot of this from memory, aren't we?
That's true. Yeah, the Suka Pass app is erasing a lot of memory of the original Passport for me now, because I'm so used to the Suka Pass versions now. But incidentally, that list is available in Suka Pass. We have kept that as the original list if you wanted to check out that original 32 tracks. But a great feature again, this music player. You've got like a play button, a stop button, a pause button, and then you can get it to repeat a song or the whole list in order, play at random. So yeah, they've put a lot of thought into just being able to replay some of the music that you unlock from the game there as well. So the only other thing I'm going to mention in this section of the show, the offline portion of the Passport, is a very interesting feature that I guess, I don't know when I learnt about this, whether it was Switch's post here or maybe someone had mentioned it on the forums at some point. But on the Japanese version of Shenmue, there's a hidden extra passport feature that's only unlockable if you insert a VMU that has some saved data from visiting an arcade in Japan, playing F355 challenge, and putting your VMU into the machine in the arcade. So crazy, right? So obviously this is a game by Yu Suzuki, a driving game, of course. It's also available on the Dreamcast, but I think this is strictly the arcade version that allows this functionality. Yeah. So one of the features is a hidden menu item that can be accessed only in the Japanese version of the Shenmue Passport. Again, I'm reading this from Phantom Riverstone blog post here. With a VMU holding F355 challenge driving data, allows players to graphically review their driving performance. So, accessing the analysis feature. So, if your VMU has F355 driving data saved to it and you start the Japanese Shenmue Passport disc, a new F355 challenge menu item will become available. Selecting this new option takes you to the following title screen, which is headed VMU Operator. This is a gateway to a new menu screen specifically for examining the F355 challenge data. So Switch has done a translation of the manual. So this is in the Japanese version of the manual. It says, and so the arcade game F355 challenge comes from the hand of Yu Suzuki, the same producer as for Shenmue. View your driving data using a memory card by linking to the arcade game. The world of this realistic racing simulator will expand even further. To use this, a memory card on which F355 challenge play data is saved as required. The icon for this option will be displayed in the main menu only when this memory card is connected. And then we've got insert a memory card with your main data in expansion socket 1. If you have reference data, insert that into memory card into expansion socket 2. Which I don't quite get that bit, but...
No, I don't quite understand that, but okay.
But okay. We've got course selection, so then you can select whether you want any of these 5 courses. We've got Motegi Suzuka, Monza, Sugo, Suzuka, and Long Beach. So these are the tracks from the game, I guess. Driving data for your selected course, the driving line and graphics showing your speed, engine revs, and shift changes will be displayed. The driving line for the main data will be shown in red, and the driving line for the reference data will be shown in yellow.
That's insane, isn't it?
So that is, there's 2 different save datas, right? Reference and whatever.
Insane.
So there is some functionality. You can use the analog stick to scroll the graph, triggers to zoom in and out, X switches the graph size, and Y switches the track display width. There's also a replay, so the F355 challenge car will drive following the displayed driving line. A red F355 challenge car will drive according to the main data, and a yellow F35 challenge car will drive to the reference data. And you've also got 4 views. You've got the driver's view, the front view, the top view, and the rear view. So these graphics must be on the Passport disc, right?
Got to be stored somewhere, haven't they?
Stored somewhere, or if not in the VMU reference data, but I don't know, it just seems a little bit too much because you've got the graphical, the vehicle, it's got to be saved somewhere. So it's kind of like a wireframe track, I want to say. So it's obviously you're not seeing the actual graphics, you're just seeing like a blue field of lines and stuff. I don't know how to explain it other than that, but very bare bones, obviously, apart from the car. During the review, you can rewind with the analog stick or fast forward, zoom in, zoom out. You can switch viewpoint, or you can switch between expansion slots 1 and 2. You can view other data such as the 3-letter score name that you input, the player name, the participating region, total number of plays, the distance travelled, and your best lap per course. And finally, there's also unlockable promotional images and other original images. It says they can be unlocked on fulfilling certain conditions. So you can see here, for example, number 4 that's shown on the screenshot, clear time, Motegi, 39 seconds. So if you beat the course in 39 seconds, you unlock this image, I assume.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Theatre, there's a secret vault of images of the development team, and this can be unlocked on fulfilling certain conditions. So that's interesting. Not quite sure the parameters of unlocking those, or if anyone ever did.
If anybody did listen to this, let us know.
Yeah, or if you have a F355 challenge arcade machine at home with a VMU slot that you purchased at some point, maybe you can give this a go and let us know. You can access the official homepage here, but it says it's now defunct, apart from an archived copy. And yeah, so what do you think of that, Matt? This hidden feature only in the Japanese version.
It's mental. Absolutely mad. Like, I don't know what the thinking or idea was behind it. I mean, I'm all for it. I think it's hilarious and I think it's brilliant. But yeah, it's like one of those things that was just Sega at the time, wasn't it? Probably Yu Suzuki at the time as well. What more can we do to expand this experience with these games? Let's integrate them together and let's see if we can get some data. It's a roundabout way of getting your data, though, isn't it? Like,
it is. Yeah, I think I did play F355 Challenge at Sega World, of all places. I feel like I can picture that machine there, but whether or not it had the VMU thing to put your VMU into, God knows. Was it still around during the Dreamcast era, Sega World?
I would have thought so, but
in my head I can picture the machine there, but I'm not sure. I might be talking up my arse there.
I'm going to Google it.
When did Sega World get removed?
So it closed in Trocadero the 7th of September 1999, but there was still an arcade there until July 2011. So it could well have been in that arcade.
When did F355 Challenge release in the arcade? It's got to be before the Dreamcast version.
Let's have a look. I don't know. 11th of October 1999, according to Google.
Okay, so is there there's this very tiny window of opportunity? Maybe, I'm not sure.
So I'm guessing that arcade would have had it potentially, and I know there was a Sega World in Bournemouth as well, which I don't know when that closed either, but I remember that turned in actual fact, unless I'm wrong, it was still an arcade only a few years ago, albeit not a Sega World one, but it still had Virtua Tennis. I remember that.
Interesting.
I'm just having a look at the arcade cabinet just to see if I can see if there's any sort of VMU slot anywhere.
Would this be the only game that utilised that function?
Oh, that I don't know.
I'm not sure whether or not you could take your VMU for other different arcade games. This feels like the most unique one to me.
It's possible. I'm just going to have a quick Google.
Here you go. Here's an image. I'll copy that image. Is that going to work? There you go.
Oh, so it's just right under the start, next to the start button. You just popped it in. Okay.
Same place on this image?
Yeah.
Slightly different, actually.
Slightly different, but it was there.
Visual memory card. Yeah. So that's where you could insert your VMU, then just to the right of the machine there. It's so specific, right? And the fact that this was a feature on the Passport.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, those are the original functions of the offline version of the Passport anyway. We're going to delve into the online features in a moment, but first let's have a little music break to break this section of talking up with. I'm going to play another piece of music here from the Passport. This is for the network ranking screen. Okay, welcome back. That was the network ranking music from the Passport disc. Right, Mel, let's talk about some of the online functions then. So
here we go. Yes,
I'm going to go back to Switch's original blog post just to set this up. So the online section assumes that there's an internet connection, of course. So it's going to check your Dreamcast to see if it's connected to the internet, whether you've got your 28K modem, 56K modem, or maybe future you had a broadband adapter that allowed you to connect to the Passport. But unfortunately, the Passport was closed down by Sega in March of 2002. So you can still access the offline content, of course, that doesn't require an online connection, but anything that was online only had been offline for quite a while until Switch's Passport hack here. Have you tried this Passport hack out, Matt, at some point, or?
Maybe a few years back. I remember stumbling across it, just going through his post.
Yeah,
it's a hex editor hack, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, I think you can get it to work with like the DreamPie, like you mentioned earlier, that some fans have actually brought it back online, like with the DreamPie on that section of the modding community. will allow you to do. But this is just, I guess, for maybe emulation or...
I'm guessing so, because you obviously burn Dreamcast discs, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And it is like for a CDI or MDF, you can just apply the patch directly, but for a GDI, which is I think the most common way you get Dreamcast games these days, you have to do a hex edit for it. I mean, it's not hard, just reading the instructions. It's not something that's particularly difficult. Switch's instructions are pretty clear.
Yeah, you can use Demul. I definitely tried this out on Demul. That's mentioned here, and then access the passport features.
I'm guessing that if you're using something like a GDMU, you can edit the GDI, the track 7, it says there, edit it, put it back on, and then put it back on the GDMU, and then you can access it directly via the Dreamcast itself rather than... So it's probably... So I haven't tried it, but I would assume that works.
That sounds about right. So what this does is it doesn't actually connect online at all. It just bypasses basically the check that you're online, and then it just allows you to view some of the content that you can based off your save data. So let's talk about the online features then. So I'm going to start with the main menu. So that would be picture 17. So when the online portion appears, Matt, you've got Nozomi in the middle here. She's doing a little animation, which is pretty cool, with against a sun-setting background. And then you've got a variety of options. You've got Shenmue World, Nozomi's messages, network ranking, Shenmue.com, everyone's space, online manual, data review, and urgent messages. So let's start with the Shenmue World portion here, because this is probably the most interesting, I would say. And this is split into places, profiles, and the all move scroll section. So places, like we say, is linked to your VMU. So what you've actually encountered in the game is available to learn some more information about, which is a pretty cool way of doing things, I think. So if you walk into a shop, for example, and then put the passport disc in, you can then find out some additional information about said shop. Profiles, same with that. Whenever you meet a new person in the game, a headshot gets added to the profile section, and you can learn a little bit more information about them. And some of the profiles from these two places alone are insane, right, Matt?
Yeah, it tells you so much unknown backstory that you wouldn't even think was there. Obviously, it's immortalized in Suka Pass, but some of the stuff, like one of the characters, like gets drunk, goes home to avoid his wife, and things like that.
Yeah. Some of the backstories are just madness.
And like looking at like the places, for example, you can see it, like it scrolls off places that you've been in the game, and it's almost like a checklist, which in modern games now that happens quite often, isn't? The map or the HUD will have that for you, so if you've ticked off where you've been, it does it for you. This is obviously it's on a separate disc, but I'm just thinking if you were ever to re-release Shenmue properly with a modern twist, I'd have this built into the game UI, and you can do it as you go through, like as a trophy challenge or something. I don't know. It's cool though. I love this.
I definitely agree with that. I think that would be a great utilization of this content. Obviously, if you're playing the game in 2026, you can have Suka Pass beside you and manually mark stuff off as you go. But I think the save file functionality was really cool, actually, a neat way of giving a little bit more content to such an already huge game, to be honest. You know, probably at the time was probably the biggest game in content, I would say, especially in terms of replayability and everything that's available here. So the profiles here. So you can see actually the little box at the top there, that grey box, that's where the information originally would have been shown for each of the profile characters there. And then we move into the all-move scrolls, which is almost a recreation of the move scroll that you get in the game when you're viewing your moves and maybe assigning one of them to the R button, like in the screenshot here. But if you press on a move here that you've unlocked, you also get some information about said move as well. And again, so much detail. Like, for example, I'm going to read this off Suka Pass just as an example here, but this is the overthrow move. With this move, the practitioner takes the opponent's arm and lowers his own body while pulling and choking at the base of the opponent's neck, lifting him onto his back and throwing him. Similar moves can be observed in other styles in judo, but what distinguishes it in the Hazuki style is that the opponent is not released during the throw. Because the opponent's neck is grasped with both hands and the throw is executed while choking, the opponent cannot assume a defensive posture and is flipped completely upside down when falling. In order to develop the muscles needed for the required grip, Ryo practiced by filling an earthen pot sand and lifting it with only the tips of his fingers. Effectiveness is increased when the practitioner strikes a pressure point in the enemy's lower abdomen with his behind when lifting the enemy on his back. In the Hazuki style, this type of decisive blow involving a special hidden aspect is called a shadow blow. So just one move has about a minute's worth of text there to read.
And every move has some level of description.
Every move has. So that was interesting. That's perhaps one I've not read before or read recently, but him picking an earthen pot up filled with sand allowed him to get the grip required for that move, which is pretty cool. I might just pick a profile while we're doing this. So let's look at Oishi-san from the antique store. As the owner of Bunkado Antiques, Oishi-san is often absent from the shop, travelling around the country searching for antique art objects and old treasures. With over 40 years of experience, he has a sharp, discerning eye for antique art and an extensive knowledge of Japanese antiques and artifacts. He also has a deep knowledge of Chinese antiques and carries an impressive collection in his shop. He is also a collector of old books on history and unique martial arts move scrolls from various schools. So yeah, if you want to check some of these interesting things out, you can.
Crazy.
Let me try and pick a place now. So random place. Think of a random place on Dobita Street for me, Matt.
Let's go. I think of a good one. Let's think of a good one though, not just a standard one we always visit. What about? What's to say? Bob's Pizza, but we always go there, don't we? What about the Mahong Parlour?
Let me see. That would be round here. So the Dai Sangen Mahjong Parlour.
Yeah.
The only Mahjong parlour in Dobita, the owner, Minoru Asada, used to be a big name nationally as a Mahjong player of remarkable skill. The name of the shop comes from one of his signature high-scoring moves, Dai Sangen, 3 big dragons. However, recently fewer young people are learning Mahjong's complicated rules, and his customers have dried up. To try to regain some popularity, he purchased fully automated tables, but despite this, the number of customers have not increased and business is struggling. There you go. Very cool.
Stuff like that. It's just mad, isn't it?
It is mad, yeah. All that extra little detail and information that they put into every aspect of the game. Someone sat down and made it all work, and some of those remnants are actually in some of the dialogues that you experience in the game. So when you talk to some of the characters, they reference some of this information. So again, there's something so crazy about the amount of time, effort and passion that went into Shenmue to make sure that everything works as well first time around. No day one patches.
No.
So the next section we're going to talk about is this urgent messages. So on the screen that I've got here, the only button we've got is topics, and it says get information on upcoming Shenmue related events, etc. So we're not entirely sure what was featured here, but judging by that, maybe you would find out about an E3 event or digital event, maybe something like that might be referenced there, or maybe some of the updates on the total rankings, which also had some prizes that we're going to talk about in a moment. Next up, the data review, which we've mentioned previously, but just to reiterate some of the crazy stats that were being recorded whilst you're playing through the game. You've got your total gameplay time, where you are in the game, the present goal, the time you spent on the current goal, how much money you've got, the number of times you've saved, the number of times you've used the help button, number of times you've accessed your notebook, number of conversations you've had, searching, lock-on achieved, the total amount of movement you've made, and the total idle time, the total number of walls you've hit, which I'm looking at some mock data here, which has 643 times someone's walked into a wall. Number of times the game has been cleared is 2 times. Then you've got some QTE data, so the number of QTE challenges you've done, successes and failures, your average input reaction speed for the QTEs. Wow. So I'm looking at data here that says someone's average was 0.3 seconds. Seems quite quick.
Pretty quick, that is.
Yeah. How many people you've defeated, your record in the 70-man battle time, number of times you've attempted it, number of moves you've mastered, how many times you've trained in the dojo without Fukasan, how many times you've trained in the park, the parking lot, the warehouse, number 4, how many sparring sessions you've had, arcade data, so times, high scores, etc. Scrolling down here, slot house stuff, so tokens, and then data on every single different machine. So there's how many? 16 machines there. Forklift data, so how many times you've come first in the races, etc., the fastest time. Motorcycle, how long it took you to get to the harbour, I guess. Job data, number of times your cargo was transported, 65 times. Number of days worked, this guy's got 12, but it is split across 2 playthroughs. Number of events you've had with the kitten, 44 here. Buzz data, how much you've spent on buzzes and how many rides. Telephone, how many times you've called people and which payphone. Capsule toys, how much money you've spent, which ones you've attained. Raffles, how many times you got first prize, second prize in each of the shops. Number of items you've collected, jukeboxes played, which songs you've played. Shopping, which vendor machines, how many drinks, how much you bought from the antique store, the Abbey store, potato chips, chocolate, batteries, and all that sort of fun stuff. Cassette tapes. Jesus, all this is going on in the background without you realizing.
It's crazy.
Collection, so all the capsule toys. Yeah, and that's it. That was literally all the data that has been recorded constantly. And again, I don't know if there's any other game that utilized the VMU that much save file. Next, we've got the online manual. So like I say, this is basically a more detailed version of the booklet that came with the game. If you wanted to learn some more information there, I'm not going to go into that too much. And then everyone's space. So this is a pretty cool feature here now. So not only do you have the weather, the current weather in the game, 3-day forecast that you can view on demand, you can see stats on the kitten, how old the kitten is, how big it's grown, which name you gave it. And yeah, it's just a neat kind of Tamagotchi version of the cat there that you can view. Insane. Shenmue goodies. So you've got 3 options on this menu. You've got Shenmue goodies, free market, and what's new. So Shenmue goodies, mentioned earlier about the winning cans. So they serve 2 functions. If you get a winning can from a vending machine, you can take it to a shop and get a free prize. Or you can go online with the passport and exchange it for a VMU animation. So, Matt, this is where you download a mini game for your VMU, and then you technically kind of buy with winning cans VMU animations for every single character in the game. So there's 339 of these things to collect.
Isn't there a movement online at the moment? Is it Sean Hastings in the Discord is trying to get all of these saved up?
That is true, Matt. So good timing actually on Sean's part there, because we've recently been working on this update. We've been working on it for a couple of years now, but it's almost close to release, and we're going to take a look at this update in a moment, Matt, when we get into the Suka Pass portion of the show. But us too, we actually painstakingly took these animations. I went frame by frame and then cut them out so that we got clear, transparent backgrounds. And like I say, there's 339 of these fucking things, so it took me ages. So it was very interesting to see that Sean Hastings has done a similar thing. But we are still kind of missing around 150 animations, I want to say, that were never properly saved. So the current ones that are saved were found, I guess, collectively. I don't know if there was a disc or someone compiled these somewhere, but basically I found these files, downloaded them, used a emulation tool like Demul, VMU Explorer, put the saves onto the VMU, and then that's how I was able to get the ones that we have currently. But if anyone does still have any of this data on their old VMU, go check, see if you ever downloaded a character data, because maybe you could have one of the missing ones, and that would be amazing if we could hopefully potentially restore all of these at some point.
That would be mad, wouldn't it?
That would be mad, yeah. Like I say, there's still quite a lot, so it's going to be a tough task, but maybe there's someone out there that painstakingly did this as for fun. Maybe they've got like 20 VMUs and they purchased everything, I'm thinking maybe that like a Japanese fan might have done it. You know what I mean?
Why, it's entirely possible, isn't it?
Yeah. Did you ever use this back in the day, Matt? Like your VMU? Did you ever utilize any of the mini games at the time?
I did a little bit. Suffice to say, I definitely don't have any of the animations that have not been saved. Otherwise, there's just no way. I did though. I did mess around with it because I thought the VMU stuff was cool. It was like a nice little addition to the game that I think just took my time. It was like, oh, this is cool. Get some new VMU animations, mess around with them. It's crazy that they animated 300 of these for each character. Mad. And we use some of them, don't we, for our for the streams? They're obviously coloured in, but again, the question is why? Why did they do this? But why not? Why not?
That's true. Yeah. So there's, like I say, there's a lot of these that you can collect and swap for VMUs. We'll take a look at that and a little bit on the Suka Pass portion of things, but really cool addition again, all the same. Then we got the free market. So again, if you collected cherries, mini pools, mini slot games, and mini jukebox capsule toys, primarily from the slot house, so depending on how well you did, during the slot machine playthroughs, a guy comes over and gives you a toy, right? And then you go into this section and you can exchange that toy for one of these animal toys. So if you're a capsule toy enthusiast, this was another section that you could get some animal capsules. I don't remember personally utilising this at the time because I preferred the cherry, the mini pool, the mini slot game, the mini jukebox capsules than like a pigeon, but...
I definitely don't remember doing it, but then annoyingly in Shenmue 2, you need some of those if you want to sell them off the pawn shop.
Yeah. If you start a brand new game, you get a full collection of them, right?
Yes. You carry your game over, you don't get them.
You don't get them, yeah.
Bit mean.
Bit mean. And then the final section, what's new? I don't think this ever worked. So in my testing, it just made an error noise when you press it. And then in this screenshot, you can see it's got under construction, please come back later. So I don't know if they ever utilised that section of the passport, but
it doesn't sound like it, does it?
Doesn't sound like it, no. Then next we've got a direct link to Shenmue.com. So this obviously, if you're using your Dreamcast, this would open up in the Dreamcast browser. We got a screenshot here from 2001, I think, when Shenmue was available. But also on the dojo, we have archived a batch of images that were available when I last checked on the Wayback Machine. So I saved all of these, any little articles that were available, you can see in screenshot form in a gallery that I'll link below if you're interested. Did you ever check the website back in the day, Matt?
I did, religiously, back in the day. Actually, it was the one thing, not necessarily through the Dreamcast, but back in the day, I was religiously going on to Shenmue.com looking for the latest news, things on there. Obviously, then they posted Shenmue Online, Shenmue 2 stuff on there, and then it just vanished, didn't it? One day, got taken offline, and that was the end of it. Which I think sort of coincided with the Dreamcast going down and everything else. It's a shame nobody preserved it properly, but obviously we that's just what it is. I just tried Shenmue.com on my web browser, and it just can't be reached. Yeah. Just times
maybe way
out.
Back, maybe.
Yeah, it'll be on there. Somebody will have the web address somewhere, whether it's still under Sega, I don't know. It's probably something to find out.
Hope someone still holds it somewhere.
But if
Could
not,
we buy it quick? Shenmue.com.
Apparently, just according to Google, it is owned by Sega. So
Good.
It's in the right hands.
And so it should be, really.
Yeah, it shouldn't be in our hands, really. I mean,
didn't they at one point lose it? I feel like I remember reading something that someone said it was available and they lost it for a moment. I don't know.
Yeah, there was something along those lines back in the day.
Yeah. Anyway, next up is the network rankings. We've talked about this a little bit, but this is where you could submit your scores, of course, from different various mini-games. You can enter your name here. I've put Shenmue Dojo in just to test, as you can see. And then you can take your rankings for Space Harrier, Hang-On, Dart 7, Excite QTE 2, QTE Title, Slot Machine, 70-person free battle, and the Forklift Race. There was also a total ranking that tallied basically everything and just gave you a ranking of the whole world for your times and all of the games, like an average.
Mad.
Mad. And there was prizes linked to this as well, maybe more so for the Japanese community rather than when it was released in Europe. There was also something that was called the Shenmue Triathlon. So I'm reading this on a Phantom Riverstone article. It says, become a Shenmue Iron Man. I might let you read this, Matt, because I feel like I've done a lot of talking, so I'm going to link you this article. And if you scroll down to become a Shenmue Iron Man. Right.
So, the Shenmue Triathlon is on now. Become a Shenmue Iron Man. I mean, they were bigging this up, weren't they? So the Shenmue Triathlon event is an event that's been running since the new year. What it's about is a Shenmue Speedrun Championship. Anyone who's completed the game once or more in less than 100 hours is eligible to participate. However, the registration method differs from the other rankings, so be sure to follow the registration steps to enter. There's a screenshot there of times under 9 hours.
Insane.
I've got 6 hours 52. I think there's a 5-hour job in there.
They must have used the skips, right?
They must have used those skips, because the forklift sections are, an hour and a half on its own. Anyway,
I don't know if that's just pixels and it's not. I don't know,
there's
but at least 9 anyway.
There's a 9. There's a few 9s in there, some 10s in there. So how to register your own cleared time. So select Shenmue.com. Firstly, with the passport connected online, and select Shenmue.com. Visit the official website. If you haven't registered your username yet, before doing so, you will need to take part in the network ranking. Any one of the games is fine. Okay, that doesn't take long to do. Then select Shenmue Triathlon. On the page, once the page is displayed, press the X button and scroll down, select Shenmue Triathlon, the A button, you can see it there. Select Participate. So the Shenmue Triathlon page should open, contain the details and conditions for entry. To read it thoroughly, press Participate button at the bottom of the page. All done, and see how you rank. So your registration is now complete. Data for the top 1,000 players is displayed. So search for your name. If you don't find it, then unfortunately you haven't placed. You can see your ranking at the end of the table. So this player's ranking he's got here was 232 out of 3,218 circled in red there, which is mad. Okay, that's a hell of a triathlon, isn't it?
It is, and like you say, those times don't really add up, but it looks like someone did back in the day, and there would have been prizes attached to that as well. This is an interesting blog post. We're not going to cover this one in its entirety, but you can check it out later. But I will have a quick mention down here, this iMode. You see this? So there was a mobile phone device at some point, and there was also a unique version of the website that you could view on this and check things like the network rankings on the go. View cute character visuals. Again, something that's probably lost to the sands of time, but at least there's that one screenshot there just to give you a good idea of how that looked. And then beyond network rankings, we've got Nozomi's messages, which is where you would gain some extra information on certain aspects of the game that we'll look at when we get to the Suka Pass, because this is unfortunately no longer accessible even with the hacked passport. But you would also get some clues as well, depending on where you were in the game. If you were stuck, you could get a little bit of help from Nozomi. So that's the online features in a nutshell there, Matt. And I think we're going to look at an interview now with one of the developers of the Passport. So let's read this together. So this is a guy called Eigo Kasahara, and he was the head of the planning section for Shenmue, overseeing things like the game maps, the minigames, and the character daily cycles. But for the Passport, he was in charge of the content planning and organisation. So, question 1. You can do Kasahara if you want, Matt. So, The Shenmue Passport was first shown at the Tokyo Game Show last fall. Let me ask you again, what were the circumstances leading up to its creation, and when did you start working on it as a project?
So he comes back to say, in the course of making the minigames, Yu Suzuki said he wanted to do network rankings, and also he wanted to give customized hints to players who were stuck in quests. We started working on it in earnest around the end of the Bonn Festival last year, which is circa mid-August 1999.
I think players really get fired up when rankings are recorded. There's a tournament going on right now.
Yes, there is. And then, so that's right. Up until now, mini-games was something you could only compete in with the framework of the main game. With Shenmue, we wanted to go beyond that and create something new and interesting by having a nationwide ranking system. We wanted to create somewhere users could compete against each other.
I think this is the first time that software has been developed that helps users online. So did you run into any particular problems?
We were very careful about the text of the hints given in Nozomi's messages. If we simply gave the answers directly, it wouldn't be any fun for the players, and they wouldn't want to go online. Also, how do you know if the player is really stuck or not? This was the tricky part. And as a side point, I look at Sony now, they have like hint cards in the UI for certain games.
That's true. Yeah, like built into the PlayStation Plus, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, it's part of the user interface. So this is like a very early concept or something like that.
Kind of like a prelude. And I think it did somehow determine if you were genuinely stuck. It didn't just give you a prompt like a hint. It was like, this player is literally stuck. We need to give him a hint. Like, I don't know how it determined, but I'm pretty sure that's how it worked, because there's multiple clues for each of the story segments. So it's like, if you still don't understand, she gives you the second one. But I don't know how. Could you give us some examples of how that is accessed?
So it goes, just about any action the player takes is counted, part of which can be viewed in the data review, named self-diagnosis in the Japanese version section of the passport. For example, the number of times Ryo hits a wall, or the number of times he talks to people on each quest. Based on this data, we give hints that are appropriate for the player. So it's not like you can leave the controller lying around and get a hint if you leave it connected for a while. So it's exactly what you said, that they've customized it to that player at that time. So if it's like a broad thing, I suspect the hint won't be particularly detailed. But if they've been like going around everyone and just missed the one person you need to speak to, it will probably give you a very much you need to speak to this person hint.
So it's like he's like, if you spoke to 50 people on a clue, like a certain part of the game, then she's going to give you some information. Yeah.
But which, I guess, again, thinking about modern gaming here, a lot of this is built in to modern games, isn't it? If you get stuck on a board a bit, it will come up with a little screen prompt to go, oh, I should go to this area to go and look around or something. That's that hint system within modern gaming. It's integrated. This is like an early version of something like that.
Yeah, it's like, was it Clippy from MS Word that popped up? Looks like you're having trouble starting a new document or something.
Go away!
Yeah. One thing that was a surprise to me personally is urgent messages. I think the game manufacturer, and more specifically the developers themselves, being directly involved in the support is revolutionary.
So he comes back to say, we spent a lot of time debugging Shenmue and tried to look at everything thoroughly, but I still can't deny there are bugs that appear when you play the game over and over again. Therefore, we thought it would be a good idea to include a feature that would allow us to provide user support in the event that something like that did arise. I guess you could say we took every precaution.
And I don't think they really did use that. Like, I'm sure there's a screenshot somewhere that says delete a save file or something because yours is corrupted. I don't know. But beyond that, I think it was pretty much bug-free. Obviously, the bugs that are in the game don't break the game. They just...
Yeah, no.
You know, it still works regardless. It's not like it just crashes randomly. Well, maybe some people have faced a crash somewhere, but not like, when you first buy a game these days, No Man's Sky, and it just crashes day one.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. There was a lot of other different content too, so how did you go about creating it? For example, one that I think everyone will be interested in is the profiles.
So the project members all worked together on it. We already had the character profiles and backgrounds of the neighbourhoods, which were originally made for the purpose of writing the scripts. So we decided we might as well show them off, and that's how the Shenmue World section was born.
How about theatre, which brings together key scenes or music where you can listen to background music?
So he comes back to say, when you play the game, I think there are scenes at key points that stay with you. We made it so you can watch them over and over again and remember the feeling you had when playing.
How did you select the scenes?
I consulted with Yu-san and director, the designer Masanori Oi, while making the selection. Scenes were chosen with the criteria being iconic or moving or cool and so on.
How has the response been from the players?
Well, on the BBS, which was the bulletin board system, referring to Sega's early online Shenmue forums, which I guess they went down years later, actually.
Yeah.
I was happy to read comments from players who have gone online saying it's 1.5 times more fun compared to not being online. It's very specific. It would be great if people who aren't yet online could repost like that.
That's good. This may be a little off topic from the Passport, but I was surprised to see that the rankings can also be viewed from iMode devices. And iMode, we just talked about, was the name of a mobile technology announced in 1999 for connection to the internet, was provided as an optional pay service for users of Docomo mobile phones. You can check your rankings on the go using this.
Which again is mad. So he comes back to say Sega is a computer manufacturer in a sense, and in Yusan's opinion, that even the website of a regular factory is meticulously designed. Sega needs to start doing those kinds of things too. So I approached him and asked him what we could do right away, and he encouraged us to take on new challenges. We thought we could do them. So it was an expression of our desire to do everything we could to uphold the name of the company.
Wow.
Very noble.
Yeah, very noble. It may be a little too early to say, but will there be a Shenmue Passport with the next game as well?
I forgot about this, but our current plan is to include a Passport 2 with the next Shenmue game as well. For the next one, we want to do things like convey a more entertaining vision of the world that we did this time and expand the kind of gameplay that only the Passport can offer. Based on the response to the first Passport, we've started to come up with some ideas for the next one. We have some ideas for things that we think would be innovative and interesting, so I wonder if there's a build anywhere.
It's interesting. Like, what do you think they mean by this? Because obviously there technically kind of is a Passport 2 with Shenmue 2 on the Dreamcast, but the disc ended up being kind of like an area where you can play unlocked content, arcade machines. You can play some of the mini games with the dart players and fighting. And obviously that was where we saw the Saturn footage for the first time.
Yes, it was, which was mind-blowing at the time.
Mind-blowing at the time. But beyond that, there was no real like profiles or information on places, etc.
No.
There was, if you put it in the computer, some VMU animations that they produced for some Shenmue 2 characters.
And artwork.
Artwork, wallpapers, etc. So if you didn't know that, put your Shenmue 2 fourth disc, like the Guilin disc, into your PC and you can access some more features there. Maybe it's because Guilin was part of that disc that they decided to remove some of the other Passport content to free space. Yeah. I don't know. Since data from the first game will carry over to the second game, does that mean we'll be able to start the second game carrying all the items collected in Shenmue 1?
So we plan to carry over all the items you got in the first chapter. To be honest, some of the items are meaningless though. For the next game, I'd like to make the Passport more tightly linked to the main story. Like with the Shenmue Goodies feature, it was an idea that had been in Yusan's mind for a long time, but not much could be done about it until the main game had been finished. So we thought we'd start working on it in earnest after we had some idea of the completion schedule. At the game show, Tokyo Game Show, Yusan talked about how it was something that was left right towards the end, when it was touch and go as to whether it could be released at the same time as the main game. In fact, at the time, I was really scrambling and they laughed. This time, there were things that are only conceived but not realised, but with the Passport 2, we will be starting it at the same time as the main game. I'd like to make one that's even more enjoyable.
It's interesting that we're planning. It sounds like they were planning more, I think, for this Passport 2.
Got curtailed, didn't they, to get the game out because the Dreamcast was being discontinued very shortly after.
Yeah. And lastly, do you have a message for players of Shenmue?
She says, for those of you who are already using the Shenmue Passport and connected to the internet, please keep an eye out for new developments in the future. We're thinking of no ideas such as giving away a prize to the person who comes first in the network rankings, so please continue to check back frequently. For those of you who aren't yet connected, I think you'll be able to experience a new kind of gameplay, so I hope you'll give it a try. I'm sure you'll be able to deepen your understanding of the game.
Thank you very much for your time. We're looking forward to future developments. And there's a little bit more information here. So checkpoint 1, Shenmue World is a must-view for all players. The Shenmue World section was born from the idea of making the main story all the more interesting to play. As a result, it reinforces the human relationships and storylines that are depicted in the main story, even in areas unrelated to Ryo, says Kasahara. I would love it if players could see that we actually thought this deeply in creating the scenarios and setting. Connection to the internet is the way Shenmue was meant to be, apparently. We did briefly mentioned this triathlon. Kasahara talks a little bit more about it. He says, we thought that ranking everyone's completion times would be fun, and so a quick decision was made to organise this event. This was possible by the Dreamcast's ability to exchange data over the internet, so that's cool. Exchange prizes for plushies, so this was what we were talking about in the Everyone's Space. There's animal plushies that can only be obtained by swapping with certain prize items. The reason for these being animals is because we had a lot of different ideas, but in the end we decided to make them unified rather than disparate. So we asked for the cat stuffed toy that was just about to be a slot machine prize, or should I say we seized it for ourselves for our use, and that's how we ended up with what we have now, laughs Kasahara. Win fabulous prizes in the network ranking competition. So good news for all Shenmue players. Game competitions are now taking place using the network ranking feature. Round 1 is over, but round 2 is now underway with the 70-man battle. The top 10 finishers will receive gorgeous prizes, so be sure to submit your best times after you read this article. So round 1 started in January the 18th, I guess, 2000. And this was for all 9 games played. Award for the first place in each game. Round 1 giveaway was a Timex Shenmue original watch.
That's not a bad prize, is it?
Not a bad prize. Round 2, 70-man battle, we've got awards for the 1st to 10th place, but the giveaway is to be announced. So beyond that, there was a round 3 and a round 4, and there was always prizes related to this. I've seen a huge framed artwork. I think David DeVille's got a huge framed Nozomi. Is it Nozomi? Yeah. Something like that, yeah. So that was one of the maybe first place prizes with a certificate and all this sort of stuff. So they did give prizes out, like major prizes. So again, the marketing and the passion and everything that went into this game, beyond anything that I've ever experienced since. But yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah, it's mad how they did all of this.
It is crazy. So I guess we're going to put a line under the sand for discussing the Passport content there, Matt, but there's a short mention from Mike Reinhardt. He mentioned something in one of your interviews, right, about this Passport?
Yeah, it's on me because I haven't chased it, in fairness, and I will chase it. But I interviewed Mike Reinhardt, who's the lead beta tester for Shenmue 1 in the West of Sega America. And he mentioned to me that there was an offline version of the Passport kicking around somewhere, and he was fairly sure he still had it. So I have asked for it a couple of times, but Mike's obviously a very busy person. But I will keep nudging him to see whether that is still available or not. Because if it is, I'd love a dump of it online. Mm-hmm. I'd be very interested to see what works, what doesn't work on there. Because it might go some way to restoring some of the functionality, for example, that wasn't available, like some of the messaging, the manuals, and things that were lost.
VMU animations, maybe.
Yeah, maybe the VMU animation. It might be worth messaging him about that. He might have an idea.
That might be a good conversation starter to say, look, we're releasing this new update for Suka Pass that brings back VMU animations for ones that we've got. But if you can check your discs, Mike, see if yours does actually have all the content built into the disc, because that would be very, very useful, I think, for restoring a lot of this content. It's been lost to the sands of time. Anyway, let's have another musical break. We're going to play another piece of Passport music. This is the Shenmue Goodies theme. Okay, welcome back. That was the Shenmue Goodies theme from the Passport, of course. I don't know why I keep mentioning that. We're literally just talking about the Passport, but we're going to go into Suka Pass now. So this that I'm going to be showing you, and especially if you're watching the YouTube portion of the podcast, you're going to be seeing an exclusive because this is the first time we're showing this off to the world. But this is the latest update for Suka Pass. We're going to go through all the old features as well before we get into the new stuff. But it should be on the screen there, Matt. You should be able to hear it as well, hopefully.
Yeah, all good.
So we got the original connecting sound. You just heard a glimpse of one because it's quicker than it used to be back in the day. Should be able to see this. So obviously the original people that worked on this, Phantom Riverstone, of course, myself, Shenmue Forever. It was Peter at the time from Shenmue Dojo, and of course we've added Wandering Shenmue because he does a lot of Suka Pass related content. Just going to turn the volume down to 10.
Okay, I can still hear it.
Is that okay for you, Matt?
I can turn it on my end anyway.
Okay, so yeah, let's get stuck in. So this is Suka Pass, and actually this was an update that we added last time around, but if you're close to the 4th of the month, which we are, because it's currently the 1st of July, as of recording, you get this prompt here. So Shenmue Day is almost here. During the community celebration, you will be able to share a post directly from the app on Shenmue Day. So if you've ever forgotten to schedule a post and you're like, oh Christ, I've missed it, load Suka Pass. You can do a tweet in seconds, basically. Here we go. So this is the new main menu. So we've been showing pictures of the Dreamcast version. This is our version, Suka Pass app. I guess I should tell you where you can get this from. So if you're an iPhone user, just go onto sukapass.com and click the download button, and there's some information there. You have to download an app called Test Flight, which is Apple's own testing application platform. And then within that, you'll be able to click a link and it'll download Suka Pass like any other app. For Google, you can just go on the Play Store and search Suka Pass, and yeah, pretty quick and simple. I'm going to show you the offline features first. So we've kind of recreated them. So top left here, information section. It's pretty cool actually. So I'm using BlueStacks here, Matt. Can you still see these okay?
Yeah, it emulates Android, doesn't it, BlueStacks?
So it's pretty cool. Obviously you can drag and whatever. You've got information here, a little bit on Shenhua. Pure and naive, Shenhua is a mysterious young woman with a deep and compassionate character. And then if you click this loads directly within the app here. We just got like a low-res version, so don't expect the insane HD Dreamcast graphics. These are just built-in videos just to give you a little bit of an example. Still looks nice though.
It does look nice.
Especially on your phone. Like this is blown up a little bit for PC. But
yeah, so on your phone it won't matter anywhere near as much because the screen's a lot smaller.
Yeah, so you can watch those at your own leisure. Theatre, which is where you used to unlock videos. What we've decided to do on Suka Pass is as you watch through these, so if you watch prologue here, for example, it'll unlock these question marks in order.
I remember all of that.
So let's watch prologue. ... You know the prologue. There you go. Now we've got Drifting Blossoms. Watch Drifting Blossoms. Oh, will it let me go back? It's not letting me go back. Oh, hang on, I've got a cross here. There we go. And then Trap on the Street loads next. We've also added some anime. So when the anime was being released at the time, there was, trailers, previews. So if you want to catch back up on that, that's good. Some beta footage. So we mentioned the Shenmue Saturn footage here, Project Berkeley, and then some of the Watch Shenmue VHS footage is broken down there. And then underutilized tab here, karaoke, you've just got a song that I produced there for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
if you remember that appeared on a podcast a while back. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit more actually. So, and then finally we've got the music player bottom right here. So this has been expanded upon. Yeah, you like this?
Yeah, because like you say, you've expanded upon it. So you've got the old stuff that's in there, obviously, but then you've got like songs from George, Richard, loads of other stuff in here.
That is very true. So any image that you can see, you can usually make bigger. These are some songs. We need to download these actually, because this was something that we added later. And you can see all of these are fan content and different soundtracks, playlists, etc. But we'll go down to the passport that was built in. If you remember, we talked about this. So these are the 32 songs that you could unlock. Let's play a sample of, what was that one that was called I Wish? Let's have a listen. So yeah, so this is the piece of music from the game. This potentially could have been a question mark for you, Matt, if this is that scene. I wish time could just stand still. We didn't share Christmas together, etc. But yeah, so we've added these, like the original passport. There's also a scroll bar if you want to play halfway through the song. It's pretty cool. You can add it to your favorites, and then you've got like a my favorites list here.
Oh yeah.
So you can make your own playlist if you want to. So that's pretty cool. This is where you can download the music packs. So all of these things that we've added here, and the fan music if you want. Let's get the full collection. Interestingly, we did this. So this is a bit of an Easter egg, but if you lock the screen on a mobile device without anything playing,
that's cool.
Yeah, it plays this Landy thing. Let's go back. Throughout the app, there's something linked to everyone's space, the free market. So if you remember, you get cherries, a slot machine, jukebox, capsule toys, etc. Those things are hidden in the app. So here's a secret here. If you click on Nozomi, if you pop her cherry, there's one of the cherries here. So trade this item at the free market to unlock an animal.
Wasn't there a competition you did for that?
There was probably like the first person to unlock them all. And so here you go. It's getting added to your inventory. If you do collect them all, you also get a medal as well, which appears in I think it appears here. Or maybe my collection, actually, which we'll show you that later. Another Easter egg, if you keep clicking on Nozomi.
Don't you dare lay a finger on me.
There's a nice thing that we built in there. So let's have a look at some of the online features. So Shenmue World. So this was that area with the places, the profiles, and the move scroll. So places, all of these are question marks, so you haven't unlocked them yet. So let's say, for example, you're playing the game, maybe you're playing the remaster, you visit the tree, click the tree.
Cool.
Oh, there you go, you get a cherry because it was the cherry tree. Forgot about that. So we kind of tried to make them related to what you're doing. Cherry tree, there's a cherry. There's a screenshot. You can view the original Dreamcast version, which nice, right? Nice angle. Here's some information on the tree. This great tree is more than 200 years old. Even now in the spring, it blossoms, providing a delightful spectacle for the members of the Hazuki household. Each year, when Ryo was a child, he received martial arts instructions from his father, Iwao, beneath the tree. You can also access these characters' profiles directly from here if you want.
Well, a friend is a friend.
We get like a voice file of Ryo. You can click on him,
Okay.
get more.
I'll eat them.
And then some information on the characters, which we won't do at the moment, but yeah, and then that's got the circle around like we saw on the previous screens. So yeah, you can mess about in each of the areas here. We've also expanded by adding music, like the typical music that you hear for these areas. And also, for example, ambience. So if you're at somewhere like the bus stop here in the harbour, this background noise of cars, you might be able to hear gently. Eventually you'll hear the buzz approach. There you go.
Oh yeah.
It's subtle, right? So
Nice though.
yeah, that was something that I did. I went around all the different parts and recorded what you can hear in each of these areas. There's a little bit of ambience. So for example, even the kitchen, you can hear the hum of the fridge if you listen. Maybe you turn the music off, you can hear the hum of the fridge. So that's places, profiles. This is where you'll see all 337 characters. If you meet them in the game, feel free to check them off like the original Passport did automatically, but you can manually do it.
My name's Xiaogong. What's your name?
Yeah. Voice file, character information. Amazing, right? Amazing hub of information for Shenmue lore. And I guess I could mention you could also search up here. This is something that Switch added.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to add something like a WoW, it's just going to show you characters related to a WoW at some point, maybe in their description, a WoW himself. And you can also filter by these different categories. Move scroll. We've got the animation of Rio doing the move. There's some moves like this that actually change the animation as you rank them up. Yeah. And you can view that here if you click this capsule toy. So here's the regular pit blow. Advance it. Oh, there's another cherry. That's how the pit blow moves. It gets stronger.
Adds an elbow to it as well, I think.
Yeah, I think it does. If you keep spamming X, I think he goes into another. Maybe there's a more obvious one that we can look at. Swallow dive.
Yeah, that changes from...
There you go. It's a big... Whew, quite a big difference, actually.
Yeah. Ironically, in 2, it goes back to the original animation.
Oh, right. Even maxed out?
I don't know about maxed out, but when you start, like if you get that maxed out to get the animation, it'll change it back in Shenmue 2 randomly.
Interesting. So yeah, there's the Shenmue world. Definitely check that out if you're interested in more Shenmue lore. Nozomi's messages, we talked about this. So basically how we did this, I think Switch found in one of the Japanese guides, they'd actually put all of the information and he translated it. Or there was a Japanese fan that uploaded it at some point and he translated it all. But this is all the original information here. So we put it in different categories. So there's even more information on the cherry tree, for example. Like beyond the places and profiles. There's some extra information here, which is really cool to have restored. You can actually click on Nozomi here too. So there's like little Easter eggs everywhere that maybe people haven't found by tapping. And then this was the clues section.
Oh, yeah.
So, for example, this is goal 1, searching for clues of the incident. You can click on the screenshot here. It tells you a little bit about what you need to do. And then here's the clue that Nozomi would give you if you're a really shit player of Shenmue. So you're checking to see if there was anything unusual that day, aren't you? I think it would be easy to ask someone who knows this town well. For example, the most talkative person or the most nosy person. I'm sure they know something about it. Referring to Matt. Gossip Gaggle, probably, right?
Yeah, Gossip Gaggle.
Nosy people. Yeah.
And then they tell you about a lady who's sweeping her driveway at the top, and then you go to Yamagishi, don't you?
Yeah, Sumiya-san.
That's it.
Yeah, and then Yamagishi. And then maybe you can't find Yamagishi for some reason. You're looking for Yamagishi's house. Have you forgotten where it is? It's the house with the blue fence near the candy shop. You got in trouble once for hitting a ball against that blue fence, remember? I think there was a nameplate out front too. You're still struggling. Maybe you've clocked an hour in the game. Since Yamagishi-san is talking to you, why not? So this is actually giving you a hint. Maybe you talk to him, but then didn't trigger the next bit.
Which in 1's quite common, actually.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of streamers talk to someone and then walk away and not realizing that you have to continue to talk to that person. But yeah, awesome that that's been restored. This little pop-up here. We'll do the quiz in the last portion of the show. Urgent messages. So we've kind of utilized this for app updates. So this is where you can get information on the latest patches or updates that we're producing here. So this is all about the new 2.0 update. Topics. Switch has added this in this update. So we've got some blog post links, easy access to blog post links. Shenmue Dojo news is accessible here. Sorry, the scrolling with the mouse wheel doesn't work as well in BlueStacks, but obviously you'd be using your finger touchscreen on your phone or mobile device, tablet, etc. But you can view the latest Shenmue Dojo news posts. You can also view the latest Shenmue Dojo podcasts, which is cool. Ooh. Yeah, and some Wandering Through Shenmue videos is accessible from here as well. So that's a nice new feature. Data review, like I mentioned, so this is the original Passport, where you can view a mock. Is that the right word? Mock?
Yeah, like a mocked up version of like what it would have looked like. Because obviously it doesn't have the data, does it?
No, exactly. Yeah, but this was based on a real VMU data that someone had done. I don't know who, but we used a save file and just basically got some, which looked to be the most interesting as a demonstration of that. But there's also some that we've added ourselves, so collections. So there's things on stuff that we're going to get into later. Actually, that's a little bit spoiler. The quiz, activity. So number of times you started the app, total time spent in the app, number of times Nozomi's patted a hair. So we tried to go for like replicating some of the crazy statistics that would be being recorded in the background, but for the app, essentially. Online manual. So like I say, an expanded look, but this has all been restored. And again, I forget where we got this information from, but this is like the legit information that was back in the day. It was saved somewhere by someone, or it was in a Japanese guidebook. So there's information on how to start a game if you're really thick. So you can select the new game when playing for the first time. To continue playing a previously saved game, you can select either load or continue. If you want to select load to continue playing a game previously saved, or continue to continue playing the game with a resume file, which I always forget was a thing, that resume file. Remember that where like it just stops the game completely.
Which is weird. I didn't ever understand the point of it.
I guess it was just to stop in a specific location, but actually I screwed up a few save files by doing this back in the day. The resume file, I was like relying on resume files and not saving at home. And then
I did that once.
I completely forgot to resave after and lost like all my progress. If you either do not have a VMU or there's no game file attached to your VMU, only new game is available. You can also expand the images there, but there's a lot of interesting, information on the notebook, items, settings, move scroll, but we also added some extra little sound effects and stuff to keep this interesting. So if you go into like, let's say for example, the jukebox, you click on the image, there you go, you can hear the jukebox, and then click off it.
Sounds like a lift, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Like the record player. So yeah, you can play around with this, see some of the cool, interesting
love it.
Yeah, just added some extra little sound effects and music to keep it interesting. What have we done? We done the network ranking. Banging music. And in fact, I think I played this earlier in the show.
I think you did.
But you can get information on some of the rankings that were recorded at the time. The best. So Xeno from Japan got a score of 6 million, 61 million, whatever that number is. Like way above zero.
Wow.
God knows how. But yeah, you've got the top 100 here. Hang on. Same guy. Dart 7, Super Kev, got a 757.
757.
What's your best, Matt?
600 and something.
So you'd be up here. You'd be, if you got over 600, you would have been in the top 100 maybe.
I'd have to look. I did it on, I think I did it on a stream once. I'd have to find it.
You could work out where you would have been back in the day there, Matt. Excite QTE, it's high. QT title. Slot machine. Crazy. I recognise that name actually, Will at 5.
Yeah, I do.
Kazemaru. Here's your 70-man battle. 256. Wow. I forget what I got, when I was doing that tournament.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it was that. It was definitely not that. It was like 3 minutes 54 or something like that, I think I got. But thankfully it was good at the time. Forklift race, 2 minutes 40. Don't know if you want to attempt that next stream, Matt.
2:40:59.
Yeah.
So what are you averaging for that then? Because
I don't know.
You have to be going like 50. So I'm fairly confident I could get in the top 100.
You could possibly do that. 2:43 is the lowest. So there's only like a 3-second difference. That's enough for now. And then this was the area I mentioned, the total ranking. It's kind of like golf. You need the lowest score possible in that one. Where are we at? So everyone's space is linked to the quiz that we'll start looking at in a moment. But I guess other than that, I can show you the settings area. So like I say, you can turn the background music if you want to listen to some of the ambience or whatever in some of the screens there. Depending if you're American or English, you can change the measurement here. Probably should put metric and Celsius, that's more for me. Screenshot button, you can show it if you want and take these screenshots. You can also share them. I don't know what's going to come up on here, but it's pretty cool. Oh, another cherry there for using the camera. I'll hide that. And then you can also reset your data for specific things if you'd like to. We've got an about section. There's another cherry. Crikey, I'm finding them all accidentally here. Information on who's involved, some notable contributions, of course. And then if you'd like to contribute a little bit of whatever.
It's all done for free.
It's all done for free, but if you want, you can help us out a little bit. Especially the Apple hosting thing is like nearly £100 a year.
Really?
And it's not even on the Apple Store, it's just on that test flight, but you just have to pay regardless. But yeah, that's a yearly thing. It's horrible. You can give us some feedback there. And you can also view your collection. So we're going to look at some of these quiz medals in a minute, Matt, if you've got time.
Yeah, we've got time. We do it.
All right. This is where you can get all your capsule toys. So we've got 5 out of 8 cherries at the moment. And like I say, as a little hint, if you're new to this, think about where these are. So mini jukebox, mini pool, mini slot machines. If you can find some sort of relation to these in the app, maybe you'll trigger one of these, but just tap around and experiment and unlock them. And then we can get the plushies. And then there's some new quiz medals here. So the app's got like a nice kind of achievement system that we've added in this update.
Love it.
Like I say, you will get some medals here, which is cool. I'll demonstrate that a little bit with everyone's space. So this is a brand new section that we've added. Well, I say that we had the free market before, but this is a brand new screen here. So we saw a screenshot of this map, and obviously you remember we saw the kitten. That's going to come in another future update. We actually have most of this done actually, but just not ready in time for this update because we've not just got the kitten. We've like added almost like a Tamagotchi element to it.
Okay.
So like a nice little feature there. We've got the actual weather, and this weather data, Matt, this is actually Yokosuka in real life, believe it or not.
Oh, is it? That's clever. Yeah. I like that.
So let's wait for it to scroll around again. Well, we got today here. So currently it's 23.1 degrees Celsius outside. And as you can see, it's nighttime, which is relative to, it's 9:25 p.m. currently in Japan. July the 1st, Wednesday. And you've got the forecast for the week here, but specifically Yokosuka, if you're interested. You can also, a neat little feature here, Matt, when you ring the weather in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow Switch has magically made that happen. So I recorded every different instance of the weather in the game and gave him the voice files, and he turned this into a working system related to current Yokosuka.
A weather report from Kanagawa Meteorological Observatory, Kanagawa Prefecture, Eastern Region. Tomorrow, rain later, cloudy predicted.
Crazy, right? So there's rain tomorrow, and cloud is also predicted. Let me just turn the volume back up on BlueStacks. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, because we're going to go into some sound-related things. But yeah, so pretty cool, right? That phone feature. So free market. So this is where you can swap your capsule prizes here for an animal. So we've got a lot of cherries. So you can see the cherries are this red section of the table. Mini pools of the green, slots blue, and this lone goat is the jukebox. So that would be the goat prize, greatest of the all time. Chip the pigeon. You can trade with us for a cherry. So do you want to exchange? Yes. There we go. So we gain chip and we get a little. What would you call that?
It's like a rosette.
Rosette. Good word. Yeah. We can actually get 5 of these because we've got 5 cherries. So we can get Wrap, we can get Little Philip, we can get Big Philip, and we can also get Little Robin. So currently that's what we've got. You can also view how many items we have. So currently none. So it would have said we would have had 5 cherries. So we can go back. Let's go back again. I'll just quickly show you the collection. So now we have these added to our collection here. It's pretty cool. Everyone's space again. So we've got this in the community section where we've got banners to access some websites. So the Suka Pass website, Phantom Riverstone. There's my YouTube actually. Shenmue Forever, Shenmue Dojo. A little bit low actually. I might get switched to put this a bit higher. There's me and you, Matt. Remember this? Shenmue Dojo Show.
Yeah.
Direct access to the podcast. There's Shenmue World, which should really start in issue 4, right? At some stage. Wandering through Shenmue's here. We've got the official websites as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and the animation there. Which I don't know if they've been updated in a long time or not. Probably not, right?
Probably not.
Probably not. And then I'll show you quickly. So this is the Shenmue goodies. So this is the brand new feature. So we've got a emulated VMU here.
I like that.
Neat, right? So we can access this. Currently, we don't have anything. But welcome to Shenmue Goodies. You will receive a starter bonus the first time you visit. So you can use winning cans to unlock VMU animations. Most characters cost 2 cans, silver sparkle characters cost 3 cans, and gold sparkle characters cost 5. You can earn more cans by playing the Suka Pass quiz. This is what we mentioned earlier. So some saves are still wanted. We want to help locate the VMU animation. So some Shenmue VMU animations are still missing. Characters marked saved wanted are ones we don't yet have animation data for. So if you have old Dreamcast goodie files, we'd love your help to preserve them. And you can also submit like a feedback via these buttons if you ever see anything like that. So let's come off this. We're going to get Ryo Hazuki as part of our starter set. Ini-san and Fuku-san, and also 20 starter cans. So we've got 3 characters out of 341 here and 20 cans. We've already got Ryo. Let's buy Shenmue. So it's going to cost 5 cans. There we go, we've got Shenmue and it pops up the animation here. You press A, it's Shenmue or Xiaohu, and you can see the actual VMU animation. What do you think of that, Matt?
I like that. That's really cool. That's painstaking work to get that going.
It looks authentic, right?
It does.
So we've kind of replicated a VMU screen there, and obviously with it being transparent, it just works so well. If you want, you can also spin the device. So you could actually hold it, say if you've got on your mobile phone, you can view these, this way around. So here's Ryo, for example. I'll stop you from turning your head, but got Ryo. Shenfall. There's Ine-san. So cool.
Alright.
And if you notice, you've also got access to the profile directly if you want, so you can click on Ine-san.
I feel like
So cool.
letting your father down.
And we also got Fuku-san. Sweeping the floor there.
Sweeping away. The same spot every day.
Every day. So this is cool. Again, another, if you really like collecting things, guys, we got the sets feature. So these character collections. I'm going to finish a set here. So down here, we've got Hazuki Household, 3 out of 4. All we need to do is buy a WoW. He's a 5 costing animation, so 5 winning cans. We've got a WoW Hazuki, and it says collection complete Hazuki Household. Here's a
Excellent.
WoW. So it's a really fun. Yeah, practicing the palm. What's that? It's not iron palm, is it?
Looks like Iron Palm.
Does look like iron palm. He learned that from Jammin, maybe,
Possibly.
possibly. But yeah, so we were hoping that this would just be like a nice fun update. So previously with Suka Pass, we've had a lot of information. Obviously, that's how the passport was built. But this is kind of gamifying Suka Pass somewhat. If you want to collect winning cans, here's all the characters you haven't collected. You know, even Niao Sun was a character here. We'll buy Niao Sun.
Mad, isn't it? Like
It's
you've got
mad.
an animation for her
Yeah.
all the way back then.
Here we go. Doing a little dance. There's also, I'll show you this, Matt, Yuanda Zoo. So there's a little story with this. He's not actually in the original Shenmue Passport as an option, but he was available either at E3 or Digitally Land. You had to take your Dreamcast VMU with you to the event and plug it in to the Dreamcast, and there was like a unique I think it was Tokyo Game Show actually, because that guy found that save file, if you remember.
Oh yes,
It was
that he shared
TGS.
with you.
Yeah, we tried that out. Unfortunately, he wasn't available on here. It was just the standard.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. But we can do it for one. So this is a save we need, but we do have the headshot here. And we do have a frame of how he looked.
I like that.
So you, even if it's like only costs you 1 winning can, you do get something out of it, and it adds it to your collection. So you can see the sparkles here. So silver ones cost 3, sorry. So we could get Tom. But yeah, it's something you can play around with here, guys. Try and get a full collection of animations. And if you do happen to have any of these, please let us know. So the final thing we need to show off is the quiz map. But
Let's do it.
we're going to have another little music break, and we're going to test your might. So it's been a while actually since we did a full-blown quiz on a podcast. So this is a perfect opportunity to test Matt with Fuku-san's full quiz. So we'll be back in a moment, guys. This is Free Market. Okay, welcome back. That was free market music. Let's go into the brand new section here, the Suka Pass quiz. So obviously you always see these tutorials. This gives you really good information for first-time users here. I know all this, I can tell you, so let's come off this. So we've got trainers, we've got Fukasan that we're going to test you on. So these kind of the easy mode, medium mode, Himagishi-san. And Master Chen is like expert hard mode. So maybe in a future show we could have a go at that one.
Like the colour animation, colour. What am I thinking of?
The pixel art. Yeah, I think they look awesome. Yeah. You got one of Rio down here too. So this is practice. Daily quiz. And the neat thing about the daily quiz is it's the same for everyone in the world. So if anyone's ever played Wordle and you get like a daily Wordle and it's always the same and people could talk about the Wordle. Now you can do that with Suka Pass. We've got a daily quiz question here and you get cans. So you can see today you'll get 2 cans from the daily quiz. And if you keep coming back every day, this keeps increasing so you can earn more each day. There's a neat little tutorial information thing here to show you how you get winning cans. So here's the daily quiz I just mentioned. So you get a daily reward. If you answer correctly on your first try, you'll get 2 cans. And then you can build a 7-day streak for a maximum reward of 10 cans. The practice quiz, which we'll try out as well, you can do 3 times and get 3 cans. And then you can keep repeating for a perfect bonus, 10 out of 10 for 5 cans. So this is a good way to grind cans if you want to. Trainer medals. We're going to do a Fukasan, a full course here, but there's a maximum of 50 cans available for completing them. And then you can go directly to the goodies section to spend them here. Excellent. So let's start with the daily quiz. We'll do this one together, Matt. Yeah. It could be a piece of music. It could be a voice. So just listen out, okay? Let's see what it is. So which place is this character associated with?
Okay. So that's Funny Bear Burger.
Funny Bear Burgers. There you go. So we got 2 daily cans and we got the question correct. So there's the daily quiz. Streak day 1. The next goal is a 3-day streak, which will earn you as an extra 3 cans.
Yeah, excellent.
And there you go. Completed for today. And that also shows you on here. Done today.
A little checklist.
Yeah. So let's try a practice quiz. So we added this skip audio question. Say if you're in a public place, maybe you don't want audio things popping up whilst you're maybe on a train or commuting or something. But we're going to do a full authentic quiz here. So 10, we'll do this one together. Who is older? Who do you think's older? I'd say the man on the right?
Yeah.
This guy.
Would be older, yeah.
Yes, so we get a winning can. Tadashi is older, 47 years old. I should read this out. I'm just remembering we are doing an audio show as well. So which character is shown here? We've got Lui Enling, Tao Linsha, Aiko Kusano, or Takano Michi. But again, that's probably not very helpful for audio listeners.
No, so for audio listeners, it has a model there.
Any ideas, Matt?
So, hang on. It's Lu and Ling.
Yeah. So she works in the Lu Hair and Barbers, whatever it's called.
Oh, so there you've got whose voice is it, and you've got 4 characters to choose from. It's C.
C. Correct. Koji Yabe. Let's try the next one. Which of these is the brutal tiger? You've
got Double Blow, you've got Swallow Dive, you've got
Thunder Kick, maybe?
Yeah.
It's Brutal Tiger as a throw, I think. So I'm thinking this one. Is it a throw?
Yeah. Hang on. I don't know, actually. I'm trying to think.
It's either 2 or 4.
You've got Double Blow there. I think you've got Swallow Dive there. I want to say that's Demon. No, it's not Demon. It might be Demon Drop, number 2.
Oh, yeah. Shall we say it's 4 then?
Yeah.
Oh, well spotted. So that is a Brutal Tiger. Next question. Whose silhouette is that? It's a 70-man battle guy, I think. I don't think it's Robert Wells because he's got more of an outfit on. This looks very sailory. Bald head, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Let's go Shingo. Oh! Yeah, one of the 70-man guys. That was a hard question.
That's tough.
Which character is this associated with?
Oh, she's Slothouse.
Slothouse.
You might find out down at the harbor.
Correct. Who is this character? Again, another 70-man battler, I think so.
It's definitely not Rishi.
True. Akihiro, Minoro, or Yukito? Did we do Minoro a minute ago?
I can't remember now. No.
I fancy this guy for some reason.
Go for that.
Ooh, no. Yukito. Where is this map? So I can zoom out.
Oh, bloody hell.
Could be Barlinda.
Yeah, go with that.
Nice.
Yes.
So what Switch has done is he's got his magical coding, mate. He's done where there's like a load of colours going on. It detects, so it doesn't like pick just a corner of black, for example. It picks like a random part of the screen, but that has like 5 colours, so it knows that there's like something to verify. Yeah, very clever. Right? So where are you? Let me turn the volume up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm struggling to hear it.
Oh, we can hear sweeping. So it could be the bakery.
I think it's the bakery.
Nice. That's cool. Which song is this?
Oh, that's a fortune teller.
Okay, and this is the last question. Correct. So we get a summary. 8 out of 10. We earned 3 cans, so we didn't get a perfect 10. But yeah, it's good, right?
Yeah, I like that. It's great.
It's great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a full 50-question quiz. Fukusan. And this is just for you, Matt, so I'm not going to help, okay? Let's see how far you can get. Can you hear that okay?
Yeah, I can hear it. I'm just seeing what the time is. Yeah,
Okay.
you might have to be careful with that because I'm going to have to go back to work.
Okay, let's just go through it quick, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Who is this character?
That's Hirata.
Good. What is the name of this move?
Katana Miss Slash.
Okay. I would recommend watching the YouTube version, guys, if you're listening on the podcast for this bit. Where in his bedroom does Ryo keep his cassette player? Ooh.
Is that the personal cassette player?
Good question. Might have to tweak the text on this. I would say the black version, yeah, the personal one.
Yes, the desk drawer.
Desk drawer, correct. Who is older?
Genzo.
Gotta be right. 77, massive difference. What's the name of this move?
Just think back twist drop.
Oh, Tiger Storm. Which character is shown in the VMU animation?
I'm going to say Nizato.
Top one? Great pick. Which of these is the mud spider?
It's move 3.
Nice. Which song is this?
It's the Liu Barber and Hair Salon.
Nice. Which song is this?
It's To the Sky.
Nice. Oh, what's going on? There we go. Where is this?
Parking lot.
Parking lot. Very good. How many drink varieties do all the vending machines offer?
Coke, fruit grape, orange, soda water, coffee. 5.
Very good. Who's older here, Matt? Bit closer, this one, I would have thought.
I'm going to go Anui.
Oh, the other guy, bald guy. Which character is associated with the Suka Ban girl gang?
Reina Isayama.
Road memory.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Nice. Where are you?
Shopping district.
Very good. Which character is associated with the harbour workers?
Izawa.
Correct. Which character is associated with Beyond Yokosuka? So that is a set from the VMUs for characters that aren't in the first game.
Oh. No, the characters
Like
aren't
technically, like not in Yokosuka.
So
That was a big hint.
Shenmue.
Yeah, that's right.
Pitch black night.
So who is this character?
Yoshiaoi, isn't it? My brain's not working. I'm trying to do this on the quick.
This one?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh,
Naomichi.
Cool.
Yeah, Yoshiaoi was the food produce.
Ah, that's it, yeah.
Any idea on the character there?
I'm going to go Nagashima.
Very good. Where are you now?
Wharf entrance.
Nice. Whose silhouette's that?
Kirishida, I think.
Nope. Hidekazu. Stu would do well on those. What's the name of this move?
Swallow flip.
Nice. Which character is shown here?
Oh, my brain's not good.
Well, I know Aries a girl.
Yeah, so I'm ruling that out. I'm going to go to Suda.
That's right. Character shown here. God, this is a hard one. Well, I guess not.
Goro.
Definitely not Goro.
And Nomura.
Oh, the other one. Shigeki. Where's this map?
Yamagishi.
Nice. Which place is this character associated with? Halfway through, by the way.
It's a thrift store.
Thrift store?
Hey,
Very good. Which character mainly looks after the kitten at the Yamanoshi Shrine?
It's Megumi.
Nice. Which character is associated with the Mad Angels?
I think it's Himuro.
Himuro. Very good.
I'm trying to find the Yamamoto's
That's
house.
Kame.
Kame. Who's this character? Kinal.
He's got a terrible face.
That's one of the graphical things they didn't promise us.
I go Kanamori.
No, close. No.
Oh, it's between the two.
What does Nozomi sell at a grandmother's shop? Flowers, of course. Which character is shown here?
That's Honey.
Very good.
Tom doesn't know.
You got a bronze medal there, Matt. You've answered 25 out of 50. Next question. Which place is this character associated with? Also got 10 winning cans from that as well.
The park.
Sakuraoka Park? Nope. Maeda's Barbershop. Where are you now?
You're at the Water Dragon.
Yes. Which song is this?
That's the Guy Industries.
Very good. Which character is this associated with? Which place, sorry?
The Mahjong Parlor.
That's correct. Where is this?
Yamanozi.
Great observation. Who is this character?
That's so bad with some of these. Shinoda.
No, Kenji. Where are you?
Harbour.
Nice. Which of these is the arm break fire move?
Oh, do you know what's the early animation of it? Because he actually rolls them into a.
That's true, yeah. So for the easy ones, we went for the low end animations.
It's move one.
Move on. Very good. Which character is shown in this VMU animation?
Saiji-san.
Exactly. How about the song?
That's Slots.
Slots. Which character is shown here?
Soji.
It's got to be. Yep. Which of these two characters is younger?
Wang.
Correct. As if he's only 19. Who's this character, Matt?
Hattori.
Hattori-san. Who's this character?
Tange.
Yes. What's the name of this move?
Upper knuckle.
Nice. It looks like we're getting a silver medal, Matt. Look at that, Nozomi. Pretty cool, that. I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
We should get 15 winning cans. Nice. Next question. Which silhouette?
It's Tony.
Tony. Last two questions. Whose silhouette's that?
Sabori Shino.
Nice. On a bit of a roll now, Matt. What vegetable does Ryo hate?
Carrots.
Carrots. And then last question, where is this?
And that is the dojo.
There we go. So let's have a summary. So you got 42 out of 50. You earned the silver medal, and we gained 25 winning cans from that run. So we got it done. So you can see now we got 84% complete on the quiz there. So you can go back, you could replay it, try and get a perfect score. And obviously your Magashi-san's even harder, Master Chen's even harder. So yeah, really good. I think this is absolutely fantastic.
I love that idea. Good.
It's so cool, right? On the go, more Shenmue content for your mobile phone, your iPad, whatever, your tablet. If you've got BlueStacks on your PC, you can even play it here like I am now. Go back to the goodies area. Just to show you, we've got 34 winning cans now, so we can
spend away.
Yeah, spend away, have a bit of a shopping spree there. But I think that's going to do it for showing you the overview of Suka Pass there. So definitely check this out, guys. Again, let me just stop the recording and close this BlueStacks thing down.
I'll come out of it.
And then come out of the call. But yeah, definitely check out the app, guys. Again, it's available via Apple's Test Flight for iPhone devices, or just search Suka Pass on the Google Play Store.
I will say it's insane work. I mean, when you think of when this was released, however many years ago, to where it is now, it's obviously a big jump in what's been going on. But the work you and Twitch and everybody's put into it is insane. I remember Yu Suzuki seeing a very early build of it at Monaco, and he was very impressed with it. I think he'd be very, very impressed with it now. It's cracking work, insane work. Yeah,
I appreciate that. And obviously, massive shout out to Switch for this, because Switch has done the majority of basically everything, really. I'm more of the content guy who's like gone around and done all the VMU icons and all the images and finding the music. And, you know, we've been planning together in person actually recently what we should do and testing and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's been a long time in the making that update, actually, probably like 2 years work to get to that stage. Like, we've been quietly working on it amongst other things, of course. When we took over the dojo, Matt, a lot of what we were doing there sort of took over my life a little bit. So Suka Pass didn't get as much love. But yeah, I'm glad to see that we're almost there with it. This is the 2.0 build. So pretty much a brand new Suka Pass for everyone to enjoy. There's only a few more features we need to add to finish basically this that we've been working on for, I don't even know when we started, maybe it's like 5 or 6 years now, is it?
Must be.
If not longer. Like yeah. But that's going to do it. So that is our podcast all about the Passport. Please share your own personal experiences in the comments below, whether you utilized the Passport back in 2000 or earlier if you're in Japan. Please let us know if you downloaded any of the VMU animations that we still need and require. I'd love to see people's experiences of the Passport, because I think it's a kind of underappreciated part of Shenmue. It doesn't get a lot of mentions,
No, it
especially
doesn't.
these days with the remasters, right?
Yeah, because it never got they never restored it, did they? Which
No.
I find baffling and disappointing, because I'm pretty sure they could have done some element, not the online stuff. Fair enough, like that I can they could have restored the other stuff. We've done it. I say we, the community, royal we, have done it. So it baffles me, but it is, as you say, it's a part of the game history that is just been left a little bit. So having Suka Pass, which is, it's done two jobs. It's interactive for the community to play with now, and it's obviously turned into like a hunt fest and achievement fest as well, which is great because it gets people coming back and engaging with it. But it's also preservation. That's the big thing here, because this is with respect to the Dreamcast community have restored it and got it online in some aspect again. That may disappear to the sands of time. This shouldn't and won't, and there's the difference.
That's true. So yeah, as long as you maintain it on your device, it's always going to exist.
It's going to be there. Yes.
But yeah, I do think like your point there is relevant. They probably could have utilized some of the content they had for the remasters, like the text to somewhere, right? So they could have made it accessible somewhere, like information on the characters and places, etc. Things like that would have been pretty cool to have a kind of a permanent record of. But hopefully this is good enough.
Yes.
I don't know what to say on that, like whetting the appetite, I guess, for
I would
if
agree.
You've got a bit of appetite for the Passport. Yeah, I think Suka Pass utilizes as good as you're going to get in 2026 anyway.
Agreed.
Good. Anything left to add, Matt, on the Passport? Do you think we've covered everything? Anything you can think of?
Thorough a breakdown of Passport as you're going to get in 2026.
I think so too. How long have we been going for here? Like nearly 3 hours.
Yes.
Obviously, give or take, depending on how the edit comes out. But then we're going to add some music in there too. So it could extend nearly at the 3 hour mark. So I hope all you Passport enthusiasts out there have had a real good kick. And don't worry, guys, the Virtua Fighter content will be coming again. Matt, can you give us a quick outro? Because I know you've got to go.
Yes. So for those of you, thank you to the community who's enjoying all the content, podcasts, and everything else that we put together. On the 4th of every month, the hashtag Let's Get Shenmue 4. Join us over on X, Blue Sky, and all social media platforms to get it trending once more, so that we raise awareness towards Shenmue as a franchise, as an IP, and look to find a publisher for Shenmue 4 and help WiseNet get this series finished. Full details are on our YouTube and Discord and everywhere else you can find us. And that is the question: where can you find us? So you can find us online at shenmuedojo.com, where you can find news, media, and everything else in between. If you want forums, shenmuedojo.com/forums. That is long-form discussion, content, and plenty of back and forth there around all things Shenmue. We have a Discord server. That link is in the YouTube description below if you want to join some sort of more live, short-form, instant chat, then join that as well. Then we come to the social media platforms. We are over on Twitter or X, Shenmue_Dojo, Facebook, Shenmue Dojo, Instagram, Shenmue_Dojo, Blue Sky, ShenmueDojo.com, TikTok is Shenmue Dojo, Threads, Shenmue Dojo on there as well. YouTube, you can find us on Shenmue Dojo VOD, that is the YouTube link, and over on Twitch, we are on twitch.tv/Shenmue Dojo for all your content, videos, media, podcasts, everything is available across all of our platforms. If you haven't dived into the community, especially the Virtua Fighter content, then by all means, do so now. There are weekly videos around Shenmue coming out every Saturday from me. We stream over on YouTube, and a lot of content comes through there, so check it out if you haven't done so.
Yeah, you mentioned the community there. I do think it's worth mentioning there are other Shenmue community people out there that are doing great things. Obviously, we've spoken about Phantom Riverstone as well quite a lot. Used a lot of his blog material, and obviously Suka Pass ties here. But I will mention people like Wandering Through Shenmue as well, making great videos, especially on Suka Pass as well. A little bit of bias there for the Suka Pass content. So definitely check out people like that as well. But Matt, I think you've done a great job of summing everything up there. So we're going to close the show with The Spot that I mentioned earlier, this piece of music that I personally first experienced only when I played around with the Passport disc, and I was like, wow, this piece of music is fantastic. Where is this in the game? And it kind of wasn't, which is crazy that they sort of saved it. Maybe for Shenmue 2, it is in the arcade there, a little bit in the slot house, I believe, a version of it. But please enjoy it, and we'll see you again on the next show very, very soon. So take care, guys.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Oh, look at the time.